Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.
We're live from a very chilly Bud Plank Field at Archer Arrows Park, and very chilly is italicized, bolded, and underlined. It is freezing cold. You can tell by the gear my friend Brandon Wells has on, and I've got thermals on twice.
It's cold.
Long johns. Hey, I'm not afraid to admit I'm an old guy nowadays.
Yeah, Gunder over there is even bundled up and got his buffalo hat on. He's, I think, some kind of buffalo-looking thing hat. Oh, Sacramento, whatever. I don't know. He's a Bills
never been
fan
there,
and a
let's be
Kings
honest.
fan. You can't trust people that don't root for the hometown team. Meanwhile, our hometown team off to a good start, but had a tough loss on Wednesday against a really good Worcester team. Yeah. And it doesn't get a whole lot easier tonight, Chris. You got Clear Fork coming in off of a huge season last year and a lot of guys back.
Yeah, a couple guys graduated. All Ohio players that graduated. You know, they went on and won the district championship, which is no small feat in high school baseball. Really, to me, when that happens, means one, you're deep. Two, you're playing well. Yeah. But you dodge the injury bug, man. Right. Like, that's a big thing in high school ball. You know, a lot of games and a lot of arms, innings, and whatnot to eat up. So, I've been close to this Clear Fork program for a lot of years, dating back to Chris Holler and head coach Jeremy Riddle. He won a state title in 2010, and I've known those guys for a really long time, and they do it right down there. Like, they start early. They call it in-house ball. We used to call it rec ball back where I'm from.
Same here. We called it rec ball as well, or city ball. In-house is the newer term. Yeah, but it does, in order to have a good program and not just a team, your youth program has to be doing the same things, and you need to coach those coaches, and you got to do all of those kind of things from the time that they're playing t-ball until the time that they get to you in ninth grade, because when you do it that way, guess what? Now you don't have to do as much teaching. You're still doing a lot of teaching, but if you're assuming guys are showing up at 14 doing the way you want to do it, and you haven't been rolling with them since they're 5-6 years old, then it's not going to work out that way. It's the same thing in every sport, right? You see Coach V does it really well, right? He's got a good beat on it. But this Clear Fork squad, they really definitely have that down. And in the Valley, look, man, they support their teams, right? They support their teams. And this Clear Fork squad, I think this is going to be a great game. It's kind of a toss-up. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Arrows do out here tonight, bouncing back off of that tough loss on Wednesday.
Just one more thing about Clear Fork. You and I have been around each other doing sports, all three sports here, the major sports at the high school. And, we have a lot of the same beliefs. Some of them we don't agree on, which is great. But one thing that you and I are unified on is you build a program from the bottom up. Yeah. Right? And that means you involve yourself at T-ball level and so on. And, that started back at Clear Fork with Rusty Staub, and the lineage is a long time ago. So, really hat tip to those guys that do it right. So it's really impressive. But back to Wednesday.
Well, wait, hold on. Okay. So I'll say one of those guys that came through this program at Clear Fork, Corey Craig, who played for me at Ohio State Mansfield, and he did things the right way. And just as an example, back in 2010, 2011, 2012, back then when I was coaching, and he was awesome. And he understood, and he was one of our captains because you knew right then, coming in, boy, he was going to do things the right way, and you could rely on him almost like another coach on the field.
Pretty awesome. Back to Wednesday. Yeah. That was a heartbreaker. Like, we felt good about that. We got up 3-0.
If a 10-3 loss can be a heartbreaker, I guess. I mean, it's a heartbreaker when you lose to Worcester or Lexington, right? Because nobody wants to lose to those teams.
I was going to fill it in, but you did it really well for me.
Of course. You never want to lose to those teams. And we were up 3-0, and then, the wheels just kind of came off. And those things happen in baseball. Those happen. It's a matter of how you bounce back. We got the rain out yesterday against Worcester. We're not playing Worcester tomorrow. We tried to get that one rolling. They didn't want to do it. That's their prerogative. That's fine. We still have a game tomorrow against Findlay. But you have an opportunity here today. It doesn't mean you have to win. Of course, you want to win. But you need to come out and play well today off of Wednesday, or else that momentum can shift and roll against you pretty quickly, even though you started out 5-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, today's game is brought to us by Hedstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for 100 years. You're joining us on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, as always, presented by Sarver Paving. We'll be right back.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Welcome back to a very chilly and windy and cold, and the only thing it's not doing is spitting snow. BW. It's freezing cold. Hat tip to head Superintendent Paramore and head grounds crew member Heller. We've got a 5-gallon propane tank right behind us with some heat blasting our backs. That's the only thing making it, handleable up here. But hey, joining us from the Pre-Stiller broadcast booth, I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells, proud HS alum Kevin Priest and his dental team will take care of all your dental needs. And then you're joining us on Countdown to First Pitch, presented by Dan Denbo.
Yeah, we've got dental covered.
We got it all.
We got eye care covered. We need an ENT next.
Dr. Stein. I know them all. We got your oil change covered.
Yeah.
You want to get a new car? Like,
whatever you need.
A brisket sandwich, official watch location of Arrow Athletic. Like, we got it all.
Yeah, man, I could go for a steak.
Want a pie?
Pie from Linway?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you start talking about food, I'm good with any of it.
But we're going to have a Wickham and Hess Troy dog with pepper butter.
We are. We definitely are. And we're going to have Renee Holt up here, and they're honoring the girls basketball team here today and their run to the regionals, which will be great to have Coach Holt up here in the second inning, the Wickham and Hess guest. I'm looking forward to talking with her and kind of seeing, hey, how's the off-season going? Look back at this last season. I'm sure she's going to want to look forward because that's what all of us coaches do. We have a hard time sometimes celebrating our victories and our successes, but it's important to. This was a huge year. So,
look, man, she was coach of the year in the entire state division.
She was coach of
How
the year.
awesome is
pretty
that?
awesome, right?
You know, that's the second one.
Yeah.
That's kind of a statement question.
What's the second one?
Renee is the second one at Ashland High School.
Yeah. Okay. Dan Priest.
No, because he never won a state title. And usually in golf, the state title winner, Division I, gets it. Scotty V.
Oh, okay. Well,
2006.
That's a layup. I should have known that one.
Undefeated with Taylor Housewright and that legendary crew that this year's crew tied, as you remember, 12-0. Went 12-1. And so pretty awesome that we've got two guys there. There are two coaches, not guys, but Renee and Coach Valentine. Injury brought to us by Goldberry Roasting.
Man, it's a big one. Michael Franz out today. Hopefully he's home watching. I think he probably is. I hope you're feeling better soon. Michael, I know we're hoping to get you back tomorrow, so top of the lineup's going to look a little different. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to look different.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Franz is the
You don't have another guy to put in there, right? I mean, not the first-team OCC member, right?
No, he's the engine.
Legit.
He's the engine offensively and a fantastic center fielder as well. So it's not just offensively where that makes a change. It's defensively as well and on the base path. So, Franz sees a lot of pitches. He does a good job. There's nothing he can't do out here on the field. So that's a big loss today. But, you're sick. And he tried to gut it out, literally, and couldn't quite make it. So we're hoping you feel better here today and are able to get back tomorrow, but get better soon, my friend.
Starting lineups brought to us by our friends at Bill Harris Dealerships. Locations in Ashland and Loudonville. From Chevrolet to Ford to Dodge and Jeep. They've even got Corvettes over there, man. They got Cadillacs, that new Cadillac, Escalade,
Yeah, they've got it all.
The short one, the long one, and the electric one. They got it all. It's pretty awesome. Check them out with dealerships in Ashland and Loudonville.
We'll start with Tyler Holt, who's filling in at the top of the lineup for Michael Franz. He's going to play out in right field at the top. And then Jeff Hickey slides over to center field today. And a little different assignment for him. And I'm sure he'll do well out there. But a lot of wind he's going to have to contend with. It's kind of whipping around. Alex Grissinger at shortstop today, his normal spot, the senior in the 3-hole. A.J. Workman playing first and doing the cleanup duties Trent Summers will slide back into the DH role in the 5-hole. Nick Mangus out in left field has hit the ball pretty well this year. Isaac Abel over at third base, hitting 7th. Jake Bryant, the second baseman in the 8-hole. And Tanner Wolf doing the catching in the 9th spot.
Today's coaches for our hometown Arrows in his 35th, I like saying that, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
35th season, head coach Rick Goff, and he'll be opposed by third-year head man for the Clear Fork Colts, Gabe Kennedy. And you said it, man. They've been off to a good run under Coach Kennedy, 47-14 in his 3 years.
18-8, 26-5. That's fair. And then 3-1 here this season. Last season, regional semifinal loss. Just like Wednesday against Worcester, they lost in the regional finals, I believe, to regional semis or finals to Twinsburg. Both these teams, that success breeds success, and then guys come back and they feel it and they expect to win.
Look,
right?
we see it in the fall.
Yeah, you get down, right? You get down, you don't roll over. You say it's no big deal. You don't panic. And in baseball, it's really important, just like any sport, not to panic. There's no clock. You got 21 outs, right? You got 21 outs offensively, so you got time. And there's always stories of guys coming back, even down 5, 6, 7, 8 runs in the last inning.
Quick shout out and a thank you to all of our sponsors who make it possible to bring you these broadcasts. Sarver Paving, Bo Lacey Construction, Hedstrom Priest Dental, Wicked and Hess, Whitaker Myers, Goldberry Roasting, Comfort Control, BB&C Car Care, Linway Restaurant, VOTF's Business, Truax Printing, Valley Transportation, Ashland Eye Care, Truly Inspired Paper Company, Andrew Bush Law Office, Bill Harris Dealerships, Simonson Construction, Harry Doyle, High and Up Tight, 419 Barbershop, Sid Suds, and Janny. Time for one of my favorite segments where we turn the mic over to BW for Keys to the Game, presented by Whitaker Myers. What do you got, buddy?
Well, look, I say it all the time, but keys to the game today, I really think Miles Farnsworth has to come out and throw strikes early, but I also think defensively, you've got a different alignment. No Michael Franz in there. You got Tyler Holt, the senior, stepping up. Sometimes when that happens, guys come up in those crisis situations, and it allows them to perform. There's a little less pressure, right? You pop in that lineup in the top of the lineup, and Tyler Holt does do a good job of seeing pitches. He knows the strike zone well. But I think it always comes down to throwing strikes early, getting ahead of guys on the mound for Miles, and getting comfortable. And when it's cold, sometimes that's a challenge to be able to throw your off-speed stuff, especially for strikes, and you have to be able to mix it up. So Miles is going to have to be able to hit the corners and move that off-speed stuff in and out and be able to mix up his pitches. And I'm sure Coach Dew and Tanner Wolf will have him rocking and rolling out there.
I know this sounds kind of weird, but you're talking about starting pitching.
Always.
Always. I know, right? Yeah, I know it's kind of a dumb statement, but
it's all right.
I was going somewhere with it. The reality is your nose runs. Like, it's 31 degrees outside. Like, so you're dealing with all these things, right? And the umpire's going to be yelling at you not to lick your fingers. And, it's just different, right? And we'll see how the young sophomore can handle that and how he deals with it. I'm excited to see that.
And you're starting late, so you got to be careful not to rush as the starting pitcher, right?
We legitimately could be playing a 5-inning game tonight.
We could. Yeah. I mean, we're going to be battling against darkness, but you still got to be careful not to rush, Chris, as a starting pitcher. You're coming in as a sophomore. You got to steady your heartbeat. Right, you're coming off of a loss. You can't even think about that. You just got to come in here and visualize. I talk a lot about visualization in the mental side of the game when I coach and how important that is in visualizing success. So when you're the starting pitcher and you're in the bullpen, you need to take that seriously. That's, to me, I've always wanted my starters or my relievers when they're in the bullpen, but particularly starters, to envision basically throwing the first inning in the bullpen. So particularly when guys struggle early, but I always would say, look, I want you sweating. I don't care if it's 35 degrees. I want you to work up a lather in that bullpen so that when you do come in, you're ready to go right away, and it's time to go. And it's okay. You should be almost a little tired. Then you get that first wave of adrenaline out of the way. Now you're able to throw strikes a little bit better.
We'll be right back after a short break. Clear Fork just finishing up their warm-up tosses in the infield right after this.
Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time. With free estimates and special financing off for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Time to get a quick look at the upcoming schedule, brought to us by our friends at Valley Transportation. Sean Aber and team are at the front of the steel and aluminum hauling industry since 1973, the year that Brandon wasn't born, and neither was I.
Well, we'll take a look at the OCC standings, and then we'll slide over to the schedule. The Generals 3-0, Lexington 2-0, the Arrows 2-1, West Holmes 2-2. They've got 4 conference games in. The Quakers just with 1 in, 1-0. Madison 0-3, and then the Senior Tigers at 0-4, kind of bringing up the back end of it there. But they're playing okay. And then the Arrows schedule, Chris. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but brought to you by Valley Transportation. Tomorrow, Findlay, and then this week, you've got a home and home against Dover, Huron, and then you go Marion Harding, a double against New Philly, a home and home. You still have Lexington. You still have a lot of baseball to go. The weather just has not cooperated yet, and you still got to try to get in that game against Worcester again, somewhere that it got rained out as well.
You know, look, Findlay, Clear Fork today, Findlay tomorrow, Dover next week. That's basically a de facto conference game. It will be next year. They're playing a home and home on Tuesday, Wednesday intentionally. Those guys can play ball. I mean, they play every sport really well at Dover and New Philly, but that's going to be tough. And then you have Huron, which is kind of a 50-50 game. You never know what they're going to have. They've been good in years past. They've been soft in years past. We'll see. But then you got a Marion Harding. You expect to do well in that contest. But then you go back to New Philly, man. It's like, woof.
Doesn't get any easier.
No.
That gives us an opportunity, though, to take a look at the starting lineup for Clear Fork. He'll start with right fielder Mason Sansom. Jay Jackson in the 2-hole playing shortstop. Chandler Ball over at first. Garrett Hotz at the DH, Hunter Rahal at third, Porter Schmidt in center field, Landon Perry on the mound, Judah Chamberlain in left, and Jacob, don't call me Tom, Brokaw at second base.
We got a Chandler Ball or Alonzo Ball. We got Hunter Rahal or Bobby Rahal. And
isn't he from Medina?
We got
Bobby Rahal from Ohio?
Columbus.
Okay, I knew he was from somewhere
We've
down
got
there.
Judah Chamberlain, not Jabba Chamberlain. We got them all in this lineup, and we got Porter Schmidt, a.k.a. Porterhouse.
Porterhouse.
We've got a lot of stuff going on right here. Hey, National Anthem's getting ready to start. I suspect we're still going to have it, even though we're kind of going to start battling darkness here.
And we're honoring the girls basketball team, the regional semifinal squad of Renee Holt and company, and it was a tremendous season, and I know that it deserves to be honored here today. Renee Holt will be throwing out the first pitch to no relation Tyler Holt, senior, who is going to be playing right field and hitting at the top of the lineup.
We're going to find out if young Miss Former Stempert played any softball. I bet she did, 1, and 2, I bet she was pretty good,
Well, I bet she could. Whether she did or not, I have no idea. But,
you know, hit first for me.
She's pretty coordinated, pretty athletic. Maybe a shortstop. Maybe a pitcher, right? You know, in the fast pitch, it's all about the pitching and your defense up the middle, just like it is in baseball, you know.
You realize it's going to be a long broadcast?
I do. It's 5:32.
There's a reason. It's not about the weather. It's not about any of that. Our phones are literally blowing up.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's okay. I know it is.
He's on the couch.
That gives us an opportunity to take a look at the truly inspired weather right now, Chris, and it is cold. That's my weather for you. How about this? You got a window? Open it. It's freaking cold here. It's windy. The wind is whipping around. We're about 40 degrees, but the real feel is like 30,
31.
Right? Oh, it's actually, well, that's the real feel, right? Yeah, it's dropped down. And, it's baseball in Ohio in April, and you just never know. Next week, it could be 75. It doesn't look like that, but it might be. But right now, Truly Inspired Paper Company for all your paper needs. Check them out at Truly Inspired Paper.
And the worst thing about the entire weather, wind's blowing 11. You know where it's blowing out of? The north.
Yeah, right at
us. Right in the face. So other than that, hey, I hope you really enjoy the game. And don't at Maori Chris and at Coach Wells us, because we're coming to you live, freezing cold. As Brandon mentioned, head coach Renee Holt and her regional semifinal participant, Lady Arrows, on the field. Renee going to throw out the first pitch, and many of those players are in attendance as well, and they'll be out there to take recognition and applause from the home team, rightfully so. And head coach Renee Holt, the coach of the year, Division III girls basketball.
And she, her staff as well should be commended. But, I would say, one of the reasons people might be just joining us, if you're wondering why we're starting late, this is a transportation issue. And just like a lot of schools have some busing issues, and Clear Fork had a bit of a transportation issue getting here early, and so we're glad that they're here safely. Yep. But, that's probably we're going to hope to get in 7 innings or 6.5 if you're the Arrows fans out there. And if you're a Clear Fork fan, you're hoping it goes 5 or something like
Zach,
that, right?
Zach, that means we're ahead. We don't need our last at-bats.
Just throwing it out there. I didn't say that, but happy to be here. We will have our Janney post-game show. Don't forget to stay tuned for that one, and we'll have our Truax Printing Player of the Game. But meanwhile, the Arrows and the Colts, you see Coach Kennedy and Coach Goff just going over the lineups with our umpires here today.
If you've wondered out there in Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network land why Brandon and I are pontificating more than we usually do, it's because the game was supposed to already be started, frankly.
Yeah.
And we've already went live, so here we are. Sorry, you're just having to listen to it and bear with us for now.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Look, and here we are on camera, and you get to see the lovely Brandon Gunder.
It's the first time he's ever been called lovely.
I think everybody's lovely.
Yeah. But he does have an MOD.
Moped of death. Yeah, someday we'll see an obituary that says the MOD. I hope it's no time soon.
No time soon.
No time soon. When it's cold like this, Chris, it requires a little more mental game, right? And so you have to fight through it. You can't even think about it. You have to be willing to fight through it and not even talk about it. You have to say, well, hey, I get to play baseball today. I get an opportunity to only play so many games. And there's so many guys and ladies that would think back to their high school and their college careers and say, man, I'd love to put on the uniform one more time and play another game, right? Because for the most part, most folks are done when they're done with high school sports. And so the opportunity to come out and play a game, whether it's 35 or 40 degrees or whether it's 80, should be something that is a privilege, not a right. And you're not entitled to play a game. And this could be your last game. You don't know. So every time you take the field, that mentality needs to happen, whether it's 30 or 80 degrees, and you need to be excited to be playing the baseball game. Coaches should be excited. Players should be excited. That energy, right, comes from the top, and you got to feel it.
Aaron, one quick thing, we talk about stats a lot. Baseball is really a stat-driven sport.
It is?
It is when I was involved with it. But, it kind of tells you who's hot, who's not, who's been hitting well, who's got a hitting streak going, whatever. Arrows hitting 358 as a team this year, 478 on-base percentage, 43 Ks, 11 backwards. Like to see that number, stay right there and lower. 35 walks, 85% success rate on stolen bases. They've got 17, but their number one stolen base guy, Michael Franz, out today.
A lot of BB&C car care walks we've had this year. And just a reminder, if you need an oil change, light automotive needs, car washes, go check out BB&C Car Care.
We're going to go dark and let you hear the entrance of Coach Holt and her team.
Grace Tobias, Kennedy Lacey, Lauren Green, Laney McNamara, Cece Sturry, Brinlyn Maudiaw, Cameron Cox, Emma Bice, Emma Puckett, Chloe Crunkleton, Claire Crunkleton, Marley Henderson, Bailey Hartman, Allie Heckman, and Olivia Schwartz. Varsity is coached by Ray Holtz and Jake Stimper. JV is coached by Joe Gray and Kelsey Wright, managed by Collins Cox.
And Coach Renee Holt on the rubber.
Renee is a graduate of Kelsey.
Well, BW, we're underway, and strike one in the books. I'll give it to you low and away outside fastball. First one over for a strike.
That's our Bo Lacey Construction first pitch of the ball game. Bo Lacey handling your roofing, siding, deck, bath remodel, and window replacement needs. Experience you can trust done right on time. And Kennedy Lacey out there is a member, and what a season she had.
Well, whenever they put All-Ohio in next to your name means you did something right and you played pretty well.
As a sophomore?
Third team All-Ohio. Junior, Madison Hoffman, honorable mention. CC Sturry, Cameron Cox, Hall District, and the list goes on. And guess what? We graduate 3 seniors. Lauren Green, a starter. A couple of them reserves off the bench. Maudiaw, and
Lauren Green, you mentioned.
And Laney McNamara.
Yeah, Laney. Yep.
Graduate her, but everybody else coming back. So, it's a privilege to play with expectation, and it's a privilege to play with pressure. When you're 15, 16, 17, you don't realize that, but when you're an old guy with gray hair on your face, you realize it, and you try to pontificate it back to these kids. Embrace it, man. It's awesome.
Look forward to talking with Coach Holt here in the second inning at about 6:30. You didn't catch that.
I didn't. I was
I
was
we'll
reading
look
the
forward to
VOTF.
talking to her at 6:30 in the
6:30
second
in the second inning.
We're off to a really slow start here, everybody,
Lord.
and that's okay. This squad needed to be commended, and we're going to get going with the starting lineups. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time. With free estimates and special financing offered. For roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to Simonson Construction.
All of your needs covered. Plan, Grow, Thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. And now it's time for the Whitcomb and Hess pregame show guest.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
The Arrows are coached by Rick Goff, AJ Beer, and Justin Dew. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, after a slight 53-minute delay, we're just about ready to have baseball here from Archer Arrows Park. And the starting lineup for the Arrows, the defense presented by Sarver Paving.
Tanner Wolf behind the plate doing the catching. Grissinger over at short, and Franz not in center. Didn't get to that adjustment. My apologies with a late scratch. Hickey's going to slide over to center field, and out in right field is Tyler Holt. Jake Bryan at second, Workman at first, Abel at third, Mangus in left, and Miles Farnsworth doing the pitching here in the Sarver Paving starting pitcher and defense for the Arrows.
Miles' first start this year, I believe, was a no decision. This will be his second start, and the sophomore has found himself basically the back end of the double dip of OCC play during the week. So he'll be starting that Wednesday contest. It looks like Holt will be the first guy, and then DeHenden will relieve him, and then Farnsworth, and we'll see what it is. I think they've got Merrill back there that he could bring in behind Farnsworth.
Merrill is with the JV today.
Okay.
Went down there and trying to figure out how to get him some innings, and Mr. Little will be here this weekend tomorrow for a possible. And he might be here today too. As a possible pitcher. Talked with Coach Goff about that a little bit. You're always you're not trying to play musical chairs, but you're trying to still figure out earlier in the season what your rotations are, who you want in there, and to try to keep guys fresh, because you want your younger guys that aren't getting a lot of at-bats to get more at-bats at the JV level, whatever it takes, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing you want to do is have a roster that doesn't allow you to get guys playing time, right? And, playing time for baseball players, there's a lot of, I don't want to say standing around because that's an oxymoron I don't believe in, but, you're in the dugout for 3, 4, 5 innings, man. You get cold or whatever, and then all of a sudden grab a bat, and you're like, geez, I got to stretch. It's going to take me 20 minutes. But, just the nature of the beast, so to speak. But we're just about ready to get this baby underway. Miles Farnsworth, as Brandon mentioned, is on the bump. Miles Farnsworth, again, on the bump. And Tanner Wolf will be his battery mate one more time around the infield for the Arrows. Left to right, Abel, Grissinger, Bryant, Workman. Left to right in the outfield, Mangus, Hickey, and Holt. Leading off for the Colts.
Let's do it. Let's
right
rock and
fielder
roll.
Mason Sansom.
Rock and roll, boys. Here we go. Show some energy.
That first pitch brought to us by Bo Lacey Construction up and tight 419 Barbershop Brushback.
Yeah, a little double up on that one, huh?
Blasted up the middle, right center field for a base knock on the second pitch of the game. So Colts will start early with a base runner here. That'll bring up two-hole hitter and really good baseball player. Last year, shortstop Jay Jackson hit .467 and was accoladed quite a bit in the MOAC and All-Ohio honors.
2-year starter, one of the captains. Yeah, 3 home runs, and really more impressive, Chris, 35 runs batted in and 29 stolen bases for Jackson. And we'll see if Clear Fork gets rolling here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them aggressive on the base paths.
Coach Kennedy mentioned that one of their biggest attributes is their team speed. Nice spinning pitch there from Farnsworth across for a strike.
Really nice curveball right there from Farnsworth. You'll see it on the Sarver Paving replay right here.
Kennedy mentioned that one of their biggest attributes is their team speed. Nice spinning
ahead.
pitch there.
Got behind.
Really nice curveball right there.
To Sansom, and then, almost had him. I'm not sure why he didn't throw over there, because Sansom actually had taken a step towards right in the middle of that.
Hopping a step.
And had an opportunity right there to maybe pick him off.
Top of the first inning brought to us by our friends at Comfort Control. Residential and commercial customers taking care of them for over 40 years. Swing and a miss on that foul tip. Now down on the count 0-2 is Jackson. You see Simonson Construction Services up there in the top left of your screen. They're joining us as the scoreboard sponsor all season long. We thank them as well. Big pitch here for Farnsworth, BW, down 0-2. Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, look, I don't believe in waste pitches, right? I don't believe in something that nobody's going to be tempted to hit. But 0-2, you do want to be aggressive, but you have to be on the corners, right? You have to throw something that is not a pipe shot. That's a good pitch right there on the inside corner.
Abel goes to second base. Bryant doesn't get it out of his glove, but they get the lead runner. Nothing hurt. Good job.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have really turned him. It wasn't hit that hard. Good job by Farnsworth. You got ahead 0-2, and he came inside with a fastball. And right there, Jackson had to protect, and he pounds it into the ground. Good job by Abel, taking his time, and I don't think Bryant would have had a play over at first base.
First baseman hits out of the left side of the box. Chandler Ball, today's first baseman, hit .341 on the season last year. Nice player for these Colts, and nice to have a left-handed bat in high school baseball, especially in a meteor order.
Yeah, they're hard to come by. There's no doubt.
We don't have any wrong-handers in the Mowry house.
Well, that's a breaking ball right there. I told people, I told my wife I married her because she was left-handed. Well, for a variety of reasons. But one of them was that she's left-handed.
Nice
and
catch.
None of my kids are left-handed, nor do any of them play baseball. So that was a fail on my part. I don't know how.
You're fine.
A big lead over at first.
One out for Farnsworth. That's close.
If that ball's low, if that's down near the bag, I think you might have had him, but that throw was belt high, maybe even a little higher than that.
I tell you, he's right. Coach Kennedy, he says we're aggressive, and I've gotten big leads over there and pushing Farnsworth to the limit there.
No.
Wow.
He's
That's
back.
close. I agree. It's just close. It is close.
There's the replay on the center of the table. Let's see. Trying to get guys mid-step or hop.
You can see it there in the replay.
Yeah, well-timed by Farnsworth, but, you got some length over there in Jackson. He's not a short guy, and he's able to get himself back. Slide step.
Bullet, middle. Chris
play.
caught it. Double play, double them up. Let's go hit the baseball, boys. Arrows and Colts scoreless. We'll go to the bottom of the first.
The team at Whitcomb and Hess have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. And now it's time for the Whitcomb and Hess.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Arrows coming to the plate in the bottom of the first, presented by Comfort Control. Let's get a quick look at the lineup here, BW.
Tyler Holt not pitching. I don't know what's going on with these graphics, but he is leading off and playing right field. When there's late changes, sometimes it causes havoc. Jeff Hickey's actually in center, hitting second. Alex Grissinger is in the right spot. Shortstop hitting in the 3-hole. A.J. Workman over at first base doing the cleanup duties. Trent Summers, the DH, in the 5-hole. Mangus out in left field, and he's been hitting the ball pretty well so far this season. Isaac Abel hitting 7th, playing 3rd. Made a nice play there in the top of the 1st. Jake Bryan at 2nd and hitting 8th. And Tanner Wolf rounds out the starting lineup in the 9-hole for the Bill Harris Arrows lineup.
Today's starting pitcher for the Clear Fork Colts, Landon Perry. Don't know a whole lot about him, but I'll tell you, he must play football in the fall.
Why do you say that?
Well, he's not wearing any sleeves. And it's freezing cold.
I will tell. Well, he's got one sleeve. He's got an arm sleeve on the correct arm, on his throwing arm. And Coach Holt's getting ready to join us.
She is. She's going to come early. She's freezing cold.
That's
Come
fine.
on.
She's welcome to come
Look
early.
Look at this.
She's welcome to jump
She's
in
gotta
early
be
so she can
tougher
get
than that. She's trying to get
back
some
to
heat.
her little one and get out of the. Yeah, I mean, that's okay.
She's a pro at putting those headsets on. We talked to her a lot this winter, BW. It seems like the girls won every game.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. There was a lot of winning. All I do is win.
Win,
right?
baby, win.
Hey, welcome to the booth.
Hey guys, nice to see you.
You too. It's been a minute.
Still
Coach
warming
of the year.
up.
Coach of the year. How about that? That's pretty cool.
I was surprised.
Really? Why?
I
really?
was.
Are you being humble, or were you like? Is this fake humility? Or are you like? Were you really surprised?
Well, when you talk about all Ohio, you talk about that's a big group
Yeah.
of coaches of teams that are awesome. Those programs that you just know of. So it's cool.
It is
I'm
pretty
thankful.
awesome.
I'm blessed.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you guys had a great season, and I think you and your staff really, and you can give some kudos to them if you want, but you guys did a great job of getting your girls ready to go all season.
Yeah. Each staff member, they had a crucial role. My brother Jake, the assistant coach, he had scout down to a T, and I think that really helped us this year. And then Joe Gray and Kelsey Wright, they brought it every day in practice on my scout team. Kelsey actually got recruited to play at Ashland University, so she had a little bit of that same mindset that I had.
We get there early, as you know, and we get all set up, and the JV game's going on, and Job Gray, man, that dude is into it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, he is in. I got there the first couple times, like, BW, who's this cat down there? Like, he's just wild. And
Sixth grade teacher as well, right?
Really?
Is he sixth grade as well?
Yeah. Really good guy.
Started talking to him about Browns football and Cavs basketball. He knows every detail.
Hey, all right.
So,
who's he think we should draft? That's, the most important question.
well, I don't ask those questions. So
I'll have to ask him what he thinks.
Holt grounds out to the second baseman Brokaw for the first out of the inning.
So you've got your staff. Is everybody coming back next year?
Oh yeah.
That's good.
After a year we had to do it again.
Well, that continuity is important.
Yes.
You're graduating a couple of girls. You can talk a little bit about them. You're losing Lainey, Lauren, and Brylin, and but you're bringing everybody else back. But what's the off season look like for you guys?
I'm excited that we have a really heavy June. We're bringing some teams here to Ashland to kind of host a couple open gyms and shootouts, and then we're going to play some tough teams like Colonel Crawford, Clear Fork. We might play some Wadsworth. So there's a couple teams out there that are competitive, and it'll be really good for us.
Yeah, Wadsworth's no joke. They are always good.
Yeah.
Grizzlies. As somebody who grew up in Summit County, that's a program up there, right?
Yeah.
And that's Chris and I talk all the time about the difference between a team and a program, right? And there is a difference. Like, everybody has a team, but not everybody has a program. And it seems like we're on the edge of really having a program now, right? Do you feel that way?
Yeah. And I'm excited to kind of make that turn in this program because I don't think they've ever seen something like that.
Well, not since 1979. This is the last time they won a conference championship, and that's 46 years. It's a long time, I would say, in anybody's books, as long as I've been walking Christ planet. And you get to the regionals, and you have high expectations. And I always say, and you probably heard me say it on the broadcast, like, those girls have a lot of pressure on them. And pressure is a privilege. I mean, better than anybody sitting up here. You played at a very, very high level, and it's awesome to be able to embrace that. In the moment, it can be a little jittery, but I think your girls, and from my vantage point, they got more comfortable with it the later the season went. And, that pressure is going to be ratcheted up even more next year, you would think.
Yeah, I was looking at our schedule actually today, and playing teams like Tri-Valley, even the new Philly team that we ended up losing to there at the end, and some of these really just tough teams was good for us. That pressure was good for us, and I think that honestly helped us, beat that Norwalk team in that district final game.
That game was awesome. The BB&C Car Care walk issued to Jeff Hickey. Braden and I went and did that Norwalk game, and we just sat there, probably like you, if we're being honest, like mouth open, like, my gosh.
That was one of the best halves of basketball I've ever seen.
Like, crazy.
I mean, and I've seen a lot of basketball, and that was, at least, for a home team and for the team I'm rooting for, that was one of the best halves of basketball I've ever seen. I don't mean to be hyperbolic by any means, but it was, you guys just were executing on all cylinders.
I was really proud of our defense that first half.
Yeah.
And that's what we've honestly been working on all year. And we were throwing zones at teams every game. And I finally said, if we want to make a run in the tournament, we better figure out how to play man-to-man defense. And I think we finally did that game, that first half especially.
Talk a little bit about Kennedy Lacey. It seems like she dominates the broadcast, and we talk about that. Jeff Hickey in motion. He's going to get second base easily there in that stolen base attempt. But she's named third-team All-Ohioan, Player of the Year in the OCC. Not only her, but Madison Hoffman's honorable mention All-Ohio. That's pretty awesome. I didn't expect that. Obviously, district, I thought so for sure, but really awesome that the coaches all recognized her. And then Cameron Cox, CC, and some others, all district performers. You got to be pretty proud of all of those kids.
And I get them all back. That's the best part. But the cool thing is they're not satisfied. They're texting me not too long ago saying, hey, when can we get back in the gym? We're excited for June. I'm so glad you sent us the schedule. Things like that, and that's contagious. And especially when my core is acting like that. There's little ones that want to come up and be involved and get better.
Well, you're one of two. There's a little hard hit ball to third base. That's going to be an error.
What are you doing?
Oh, my gosh. Don't go anywhere.
That is... That's something. What just happened? We'll just
so
say that's
incredible.
an error.
I lost my train of thought.
Well, Jeff Hickey got himself in no man's land, and once that ball got bobbled, he needs to get back because there's not going to be a play at first, and he needs to know that and get himself back right away.
Did you play softball?
Yeah.
High school too?
Yeah.
Did you?
All 4 years. I was shortstop.
What'd I tell you?
Shocking.
I told you she was a shortstop.
I pitched growing up until I got to high school, and I said, this isn't for me anymore.
So you played short. You hit first or third?
I hit first or third.
Did you hit leadoff or the third hole? 3-hole, or where did you hit in the lineup?
I was kind of moving around.
Really?
Yeah. I would probably hit around the third, second sometimes.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
depends.
Yeah. Crestviews not too bad this year. They got a decent team out there this year.
Yeah.
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 They've
Nice
been
young
pretty good
pitcher.
traditionally.
They have.
You got some girls on your squad that are on the softball squad this year?
Yeah. Madison Hoffman, Josie Van Tilburg, Riley Matial.
All 3 varsity players.
Yeah.
Madison Hoffman, a really good softball player from what I hear.
Yeah. She can get a hold of the ball.
Yeah, she can smoke it. So, I hate to bring up the bad, but
boy.
I think it's
Here we go.
something that you can, I talk to Coach V about this all the time, but I think you would probably agree at this point, you learn more from your losses than you do your wins. What are you going to take away from that buzzsaw Toledo Notre Dame team that we faced? And, they were physical, they were tough, but then they worked and got open shots, and they moved off the ball screen so well and double picks, and
They're
it was
a juggernaut.
It was awesome to watch. Like, what do you take away and try to implement in your program?
They were physical. Yeah. And I think a big thing is when a team is more physical like that,
Yeah.
you got to get over the hump of the mental side of things. If a girl's riding you up the court, get over it. The ref's not going to give you those calls in the tournaments. And I think that was new for us getting into the tournaments. We haven't seen many games in the tournaments of, the refs letting us play. And then a big thing is, I think just basketball IQ continue to build that.
Yeah.
The screens, the flare screens, just moving without the basketball, seeing things a little bit differently.
Yeah, that takes reps. It takes reps and time, and as those young ladies continue to play together, that chemistry is just going to keep getting stronger. You're right about the mental part, man. In the tournament, you just have to be adaptable. Chris and I were talking about being adaptable and adjustable and flexible, and what that means on the court, what it means on the field, and how important that is, because that's a skill that is transferable to life, right?
Yeah.
And we all 3 of us are super competitive people, and we want to win at everything we do, but we also want to see our young men and young ladies grow as humans. And I think we saw a lot of that with your team, and now in an off season after the year that you had, you guys have an opportunity to continue to grow.
Yeah, and I'm really blessed my time at Ashley University, because we personally and my friends and we grew just as people outside the game. In the community we were involved, and it's at the end of the day it's so much bigger than basketball.
What's the biggest thing you're going to take away from this season personally for you? Not winning an OCC crown and cutting a net and regional. What's it mean? Like, what are you going to take away?
Sack fly, and Arrows jump on top.
That's a tough question. That one stumped me. What am I going to take away? I mean, I could go on and on and on about all the things I was very
it could be
blessed
like a 6th grade science quiz where it's multiple choice. Select D,
Hey,
all the
social
above.
studies.
Or
Social studies here. Come on.
Social studies.
Sorry,
right.
sorry.
Yeah.
I think just continuing to grow, but understand that it's baby steps. I keep telling these girls that it's going to take time, and it has taken time. This is my 5th year, and finally getting over that 500 mark and having the year like we did. But it's going to take baby steps to continuing to get better. Like 20-6 is awesome, but there's still improvement.
Yeah,
and the cool thing is the girls know that.
Right. You've
they're
made
doing that.
you've made the giant leaps.
Yes.
And then I think sometimes it's even harder to go from those giant leaps to taking those smaller steps. As weird as that might sound to people, right? I mean,
To put it in a golf term, if you can break 90, you can play around. There's a
shot.
sharp hit up the middle, and that's going to get through to the outfield. So the Arrows will plate Alex Grissinger for their second run, and Trent Summers at first base for the Arrows. But to break 90 is one thing, and that means you can get it around a little bit. But to break 80 to get in the 70s, you have to be a really, really good player. Like, it is just tough. And if you can think you can go from the 70s to the 60s, I'll probably tell you good luck. There's very few people that can do that. But, yeah, taking that next step down in that big pantheon of ranges is really tough. And I think you're right. It's the big one you've already hurdled, and now it's, some of those games that you had big leads in the first half in the OCC or whatnot, another sharp hit ball down the left field line, and that one's going to be in there. And Trent Summers, got the go sign from head coach Rick Goff. Fortunately, he put the left paw up, BW, and held him at second base with 2 outs.
Big leads in the first
and
half of the
thankfully,
OCC or whatnot.
you guys got these big leads in the first half. They're trying to start in the third quarter.
Yeah,
My
go
management
sign for
was
head
in the third
coach.
quarter, like, we sat up there and just held our bated breath, like, oh, come on. You know, get through it. And then the fourth quarter looked like the first and second quarters.
I know.
I got nothing to say.
You know, sometimes I was talking with my coaches. I was like, should we even go in the locker room? Maybe we should just stay out here and just shoot around or
Well, and sometimes
try these different things.
That half it breaks the momentum. You know, when you're playing so well for a half, that it comes at the worst time sometimes. But some of that's being a young team too. And I think you guys by the end of the year had figured that part out. And you're not going to be young anymore, right? Like you don't have that excuse going into next year. But speaking of youth, what does the young group look like coming up? Your junior high kids coming in, your JV kids coming. What's that look like?
I have a couple kids that I think could make an impact right away. I'm not going to throw any names out there. I don't want that pressure out there,
right.
But I'm excited for this young group. But coming in, they have a lot to learn. But a big thing is the physicality of my older girls. They're going to have to match that physicality if they want a chance on that varsity floor.
It's going to be a tough roster to crack. I mean, to be honest, right? Your first 5 are probably locked in. I think everybody would expect that. I mean, obviously, you don't know what's going to happen, but obviously you need a 6th player, you need a 7th player, and I think you would agree your bench was deep this year, and it allowed you to rest Kennedy in spots where, if we look back at her freshman year, we'd just be stretching our head like, what are you taking her out of the game for? you got to leave her out, but you were able to take her out with 4 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And rest her for a minute or two, and you didn't miss a beat. It was awesome, and that's the depth that you talked to us about in the post game so often about.
And I never honestly would have thought that. My first couple years, is honestly kind of a struggle to get girls to come out and play basketball because I think just the physicality of the game has changed a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I think our bench will be super important here in the future. We have our first 5, but the bench is just as important.
Absolutely.
Can we get Kennedy shooting about 1,000 threes a day this summer?
She can hit them. That's the thing.
I know. That's that next step, I think, for her because she's so good. But as a guy who just loves basketball and coached for a long time, I see it. I know you do too, right? And you're saying, oh man, how does she go from
this
really good to exceptional to unstoppable? Because she's great already, but it doesn't mean that there's not more above on that ceiling. And so, how do we get her to exceptional, right?
Hey, she was only a sophomore this year.
Yeah, I had a few college coaches I know reach out to me and ask me about her, and I said, well, she's gotten better. She's gotten better both years, and asking me what level she can play, and I said, well, it comes down to how much better she can shoot from the outside and what that looks like in a game.
The one thing I'm going to take away too from last year to this past season was the foul shooting. It was so much better. Madison Hoffman, I think I was away or Schwartz was up there or Swartz was up there.
There it is.
But she came in and knocked down 7 or 8 in the fourth quarter to beat some team, and it seemed like
that Norwalk game.
Yeah.
I think we were 15 to 16 in the second half or something crazy.
It was crazy, but you guys just kept pounding the ball and would get fouled, go to the line and take the charity stripes and convert them. And
It seemed like
basketball teams are tough to beat when they're making their foul shots.
It goes back to that mental thing. You step up to the line, especially in those big games, hitting those free throws. But that starts in practice. We have some tough practices, and I like to compare it to what I had to deal with in college, competitive. And once I have this baby, I'm going to be back out there, so they better be ready this year.
So if you don't know, we're visiting with Arrow's head girls basketball coach, Renee Holt, formerly Renee Stimpert, for some of you who might still think of her in that vein. But yeah, so you broke the news. You said it here. So when do you do?
July 1st.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Wow, hoping maybe Chris is already thinking, what about a July 4th Independence baby? You can call her, is it a boy or girl? Do you know yet? Are you announcing that?
A little girl.
Okay, you can call her Martina McBride Holt.
Tara and I never found out with either of ours. We could have.
Really?
Yep, we never found out. And she asked me, and I said, I really don't care. We'll do whatever you want. And she said, I'd rather not. And I said, fine. And then I got to thinking about it, and I said, mega surprises like that in life, they're normally 95% of the time bad, right? This was one of the 5%ers of mega surprises that were good either way. So, yeah, that's what we did.
That's a cool way to look at it.
And your first kid, we share a name in my son. I have a Henry and you have a Henry. Do you call him Hank? Is there any of that yet? Have you said Tank or anything like,
Honestly, I did not know. This sounds like bad or dumb, I guess. I did not know that Hank was kind of a nickname, a spinoff to Henry until Henry was born, and they started calling him Hank. I'm like, why are you guys calling him Hank?
That's great. Yep.
But no, his my nieces and nephew, they call him Henny.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely fun.
Anything else any shout outs you want to give out to folks out there? Anything exciting, any news, any other news you want to break, or anything you want to try to encourage people to come out and play or anything like that?
I'm just thinking of our record, that 20-6. There's going to be a lot of pressure on us for next year. 11-1 in the conference. There's pressure there. We're bringing back a strong team. OCC Player of the Year in Kennedy Lacey. A couple first teamers, and then CC Sturry, and we got a good group coming back. There's going to be pressure, but
you guys have any needs, any equipment needs, any things that maybe people might want to, help you guys with out there? I mean, this is the chance to say it, right? You just never know.
Yeah. Who's listening? Let's see.
Just write me a note. I'll get it taken care of for you.
We could always use new basketballs. I feel like we're going through basketballs.
Yep.
But a special guy in my life that's been there since middle school is Bob Archer.
Yeah.
That guy. And he kind of had a health issue not too long ago, and he powered through. That dude is strong as an ox, and he's a special guy in this community.
We love Bob.
We love him.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows Bob loves Bob.
Yeah.
His strong heart, giving attitude. He's an awesome guy.
Bob and I live in the same neighborhood, and I was walking around.
Where's that?
I was walking around the neighborhood, and Bob was down in the hill, and I ended up catching him, and I walk up to him, and he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, what are you doing to me? You scared me again. And I said, you want some company? And he goes, yep, can you keep up? And I said, I'll try. And my gosh, it was like half a 40 sprint, man. He's cruising around that backside. He's telling me, I think I learned more about AU in about 18 minutes than I had known in 25 years. His heart's in the right spot. Mm-hmm. His heart's in the right spot for Ashland City Schools, too. He's got a great relationship with Steve Paramore and all the administrators, and he was instrumental here with all the redos of this
Archer
facility.
Arrows Park, yeah.
Just a great family, and he and Jane are fantastic.
Yeah, and to whom much is given, much is expected, and I think he has really done well in delivering on that, right? I mean, he has been blessed, and he has turned around and blessed a lot of people and a lot of organizations and a lot of folks here in town. So I appreciate that shout out to Bob and Jan both. Yep.
Likewise. It was good having you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Ready to get watching your team again here in the fall. And did you know you're one of 2 Coach of the Years at Ashland High School?
I did not know that.
Yeah, you are. You're number 2 now.
It's coaches,
there we go.
Coaches of
Scotty
the year.
V, 2006, 12-0 campaign, finished 1.
Wow.
Got
Hey,
beat in
that
the
guy's a
regional
legend.
finals. Hey, you're in his company now.
are.
Pretty
That
awesome.
is cool.
That's pretty
very
awesome.
Cool. Thanks a lot for joining us. Really love having you on.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Appreciate it, Renee.
Let's talk to you soon. Well, BW, that is legendary. Soon to be legendary.
Hey,
on
listen.
her way, building her podium.
Hey, you legendary, and
she
and
is
on her way here.
National
Yep.
champ and now Coach of the Year, and she's going to have quite a squad back next year. We're excited to call those games yet again in Arrow Arena.
Yeah, I mean, the energy that comes from her squad is hard to beat, and you don't see it very often, a group like that plays that hard and plays for each other.
A couple Sid Sudge strikeouts there in that last half inning for Miles Farnsworth, and then a fly ball. Nick Mangus in left field played it really well. Look, there's no easy fly ball today at the ball yard, and he camped under that one and pulled that in for the 3rd out. So that'll bring up 8-hole hitter Jake Bryant hitting .357 on the season today, second baseman, and he gets that one plunked right below the kneecap. So
well, it's not quite a high and tight. It's a low and in. But the team at 419 Barbershop can take care of you in downtown Ashland. They will take care of you. 419 Barbershop. That's where I go get my hair done. And I got Henry going in next week, trying to get his hair all tightened up. He right now has all kinds of hair, and he said, "No, Dad, it's time for me to do something with that."
He's going to weigh about 6 pounds less.
He is. Tanner Wolf with the blinker on, and the umpire says, hey, we got to fix that. That means his back pocket was sticking out. It's called your blinkers on. That's a baseball term, Chris. I can't believe you didn't know that, but it can't hang out like that at the plate because you don't want it to get hit, and then now you got to make a decision as an umpire.
There's a patented ground ball double play. We'll see if they do it. Over to Jackson. Jackson
Safe.
hammer over to first base, and they ring up Wolf on the 4.63 DP.
Wow.
So an HBP retired via the double play. Bummer. Hit that one on the screws, did Wolf? Good hit.
Yeah, good hustle out of the box, out of that left-handed box, but just, an Adam ball, one hopper to the second baseman. Good turn out there at short. A really, nice play by Jackson. So not much you can do there. Good job defensively.
So I didn't read it. VOTF, when we had head coach Holt on, he says, well, just tell her to recruit better players or more players like Notre Dame. Ray Hall comes in and peels that one off, and back on first base is Ball. So after a leadoff HBP, the Arrows 3 up, 3 down. We head to the top of the third.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
We have a Dave Schwartz reference. Back. He's with us. Dave Schwartz, who fills in for me on basketball broadcasts when I'm out of town, and Brandon Wells. I'm Chris Mowry. Good to have you up here. We didn't know you were going to come up.
Yeah, Brandon said step up and say hey, so I figured it's a good time to jump up here. Arrow's looking really good tonight.
Yeah, so far so good. We just had head coach Renee Hold on, talked about the basketball season. The team was honored pregame.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
That was great.
Your daughter was part of that run,
Yes, sir. It was great to see that run from the girls, and nice to see them honored here tonight.
Yeah, it's always exciting, right? What are you up to? What's life look like for you right now?
Right now, it's looking for the end of the school year.
If you don't know, Dave's a teacher in the LEAP program here in Crestview and up there, and so you end up with some Ashland kids here and there as well. And I know, just like everybody, once you get past spring break.
Yeah, we haven't even had our spring break though.
It's really
my
late.
spring break starts next Friday.
Oh, so you okay? Well, you just wait until after that. Then you'll be like, everybody will be done.
Everybody's already done. I mean, right now it's kind of like you can see all the kids.
Yeah,
they're losing it.
Well, Dave, you and I coached basketball here for a year and together, and you got to see a part of this run this year for the girls, and you've watched a lot of basketball. You've played a lot of hoops. What about the baseball side? Did you ever play any baseball growing up?
A little bit growing up, little league, that kind of stuff.
I bet you're a big guy. I bet you could hit a softball a mile.
Oh yeah, I played some softball. Good amount more of softball. The ball coming a little slower. I was able to get a good beat on that.
Okay.
Baseball was a little. I struggled hitting in baseball.
A lot of people
loved fielding.
Okay.
So, wow. Down and away. Strike 3 on the backwards K. Sid Sud strikeout out number 1 for Miles Farnsworth.
Nice pitch there, Farnsworth. After the Arrows picked up 2 in the first. He's looking good so far here, and that breaking pitch is working well. And we talked about how important that was in the cold weather.
Left fielder Judah Chamberlain going to get his first hack. Didn't mess that name up, Dave. Little foul tip there. Farnsworth gets ahead 0-1. So Coach Holt is beyond excited to get the campaign started next year already.
I'm
really
sure.
Thrilled.
You're losing 3 seniors, 1 very pivotal on the team, but you've got other players that are gonna, I think, really be able to step up into the role.
And I know your
do really well.
Right, your daughter is a post player. What have you been working on with her? I'm sure you got her out there doing all kinds of stuff.
We're trying to work her a little bit inside outside too.
Oh yeah,
make her a little more versatile.
Was a blooper into center coming on, and Hickey can't quite get to it. That ball got knocked down and base hit.
Nice job of getting the Hickey reference right in. That's usually a Franz Middle delivery. Michael Franz, you remember him from football and baseball. He's ill today, so he's not with the squad, but Jeff Hickey, normal right fielder, slides over to center field, and Tyler Holt getting the start in right field today. Arrows up 2-0. 9-hole hitter Jacob Brokaw, Tom's nephew, steps in the box. Today's second baseman.
If that's the case, then Tom's little sister or brother is quite young. We'll just say it that way. It's a big disparity in that age gap. Dave, you went to Ashland High School, class of 94, right?
There you go. I'm old.
I wasn't trying. You are older than me. Don't forget it. But what did the baseball facility look like back then versus what we have now?
A lot smaller looking.
Yeah.
It was just, and actually at that point in time we played down the road at Sarver Field down here.
Okay. And this is amazing.
If memory serves me correct, because I didn't play baseball in high school.
I got you.
Well, I got a lot of friends who played.
This place is a palace now.
Yes.
Really nice. Facility-wise, between Dr. Mara and Steve Paramore, boy, they have just really upgraded everything around campus.
Squaring around again is 9-hole hitter Brokaw. He's now down to the count 1-2. 2 bunt attempts down to try to get that runner over. Brandon with 1 out, possibly 2 to second base.
Dave's a movie aficionado, like Zach, the voice of the Falcons. So, Dave, favorite baseball movie or movies? What do you think? What do you got?
The Natural.
Yeah.
That's right. Here's the irony, gentlemen. I actually watched Field of Dreams last night.
Oh, all right. You're feeling it.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come. It's up high. That's a good 0-2. I like that. I love The Natural. That's probably my favorite as well. It always reminds me of my dad because we watched that as a kid. He showed
exactly.
It to me.
Growing up, that's the one I watched.
And he loses his dad. It's terribly sad, but it's also an awesome movie. And, in the book, written by Bernard Malamud, in the book, what a bender that was. Ooh, fooled everybody right there. In the book, Hobbs strikes out.
Oh.
At the end.
Well, I think they did the movie better then.
Well, Hollywood would not have wanted a strikeout to that ending, right?
Look, Field of Dreams is great.
Yeah.
I love me some Major League. I could watch that at any minute of the show.
Can't quote that one here.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. That would have been right there. I had to think about it for a minute.
I said that when VOTF and Brandon and I were talking about it, and they both looked at me like I was an idiot. And I'm like, Major League is all-timer. It's great.
I'm in total agreement with you, especially if you – and here's a little – maybe a tidbit of information for you
here. Here we go.
If you remember back in the day, and you guys are close to my age, so when this one
got him. Yes, they did.
There we go.
You hold the story. We're going to get it right here. They got a rundown, and already a few too many throws, and they got him, cut off the distance, and he is out. That's not how I like to execute my rundowns, but it doesn't matter. You got an out. Some guys like to see where they shorten the distance between, and other guys, it's you push them back towards the base, and that's the way I would do it. But what do I know? You were saying about a little tidbit of information.
Yeah. So when that movie first came out, if you remember the preview for the movie, there's a line where he says, "Ball wouldn't have been out of a lot of parks."
Name one. Yeah.
That is never in the original Major League movie.
Dave
that line is not in that movie.
Is breaking news.
Breaking news from, what was that?
1989.
I was going to say.
Was it 1989?
I was going to say
really?
89, 90 was my guess there.
Arrows up 2-0. Come on back.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Off-air conversation continues to be the best part of the broadcast. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells coming to you live from the Priest Dental broadcast booth. Thanks to Kevin Priest and his team right across the street, BW. They let the people park there in the fall for football games, basketball games, baseball games, whatever it might be, and give you award-winning dental care right here in Ashland,
I'm
Ohio.
overdue to get over there and see Dr. Priest.
Well, that's one thing you can't do. You can't put that off, my friend. You got to get after that.
Well, when your insurance doesn't cover, you got to figure out a way. I got to talk to Kevin again. I need to have a little conversation.
I'm going to do a little quick check-in on the Masters. Terrell Hatton playing pretty well. 7 under, 4 under today, still in the 16th hole.
Is that happening right now?
Yeah. Hello, friends.
2-0 count. Hickey up there. Arrow's got 2 in the first. Nobody scored since. Runs hard to come by usually when it's cold like this. Great job by the Arrows coaching staff and maintenance crew getting this field back and ready to go. Boy, we need some sun because we need to mow this infield. That ball got spiked in the
I know
dirt.
some people that are just donated credits in the Masters game. Donations.
Inning brought to you by Comfort Control for all your heating, cooling, plumbing needs, residential or commercial. They were at the Wells household this past week doing a fabulous job.
I didn't tell you, but they were at the Mowry house. The owner of said house was pulling up some carpet to put some hardwood down, and in an older home, sometimes you get creaky, underfloor or underlayment, however you want to say it.
Sounds like a personal problem.
With wood flooring that you're covering up, it's just not ready. It's just time to move on.
Nasty.
And I was throwing down with the Milwaukee nail gun some nails, and I hit the main line of the air conditioner. And that's where the Freon resides that goes from the furnace to the main line to the heat pump.
That's an emergency.
I thought it was gas. I got everybody out of the house. I was scared. So I wrote a text to Joe Reap. This is a true story, by the way. I wrote Joe Reap a text, and I said...
Oblique text.
No, I said 911. So he calls me back. He's like, what's the problem? I'm like, I don't know. I got this hissing noise. And so, yeah, it cost $1.50.
Well, you got it fixed, and it's
Plus
fixed
a lot.
well.
Yeah, it's fixed
Look, if
right.
you want stuff done, here's what I've learned a long time ago, and I wish I had learned it when I was younger.
You get what you pay for, buddy.
The poor man pays twice, and so what that means is do it right the first time and pay what you can and pay for the best part, because otherwise you're going to end up having to do it again, right? Poor man pays twice. That's easy for me to say, but that is the case. If you can, go by that theory. Because I used to, buy crap and junk and then
buy it, crap and junk again.
Yep, almost got him. That was close. Had him leaning, but throw a little offline.
Walk that base up a little better next time, Hickey.
No outs, man on first. I'm thinking about just getting the guy over. You want to get another run here. You got to find a way to get another run and just start picking one at a time. And sometimes just putting one down here can get you in a good spot.
Hickey in motion. He's going to have that one swiped easily.
Like
that one's off Jackson's chest. Don't go anywhere. There's nobody out.
I love it. And that's a great aggressive call. Now you don't have to give up an out with the sac punt. You get him over to second. Now you've got your 3 and your 4 hitters ready to go and knock him in. And in theory, a base hit should score him if he has a good secondary lead out there.
I was glad that Renee, when you mentioned the shout out, mentioned Bob Archer. That was really cool. And he's had a huge impact on her life. And, look, for the last 10 years plus on all those ladies basketball. Here's a shot by Gris in the hole. That's a great play by Jackson. My gosh. Gris got a big turnaround first base. He's going to go into second on that throwing error. That's a fielder's choice. No base hit, so Gris will be staying at second base, nobody out.
No, and Hickey got away with
by Jackson.
I got to be honest. Hickey got away with a second base running mistake made here tonight, actually.
No base hit.
Freeze on that one in front of you. You have to freeze because there's no outs, especially. So if that ball's in front of you, you got to see it through. You're not going to score on that one anyway, even if it gets through, because it's hit too hard. The left fielder's shallow enough. He's going to come in and field that, so you have to get yourself back. We dodged a bullet on the bad throw from the shortstop, Jackson.
I got nothing to add.
There isn't anything to add. I'm right.
Runners at second and third. A.J. Workman, the big cleanup hitter, steps in for the Arrows, and wind blowing in. I don't think he's got the horsepower to challenge the fence, but we shall see. He was trying right on cue. That was a big hack.
Big hack by Mr. Workman.
Looked like Joey Bell up there. Don't call me Joey. Joey.
Boy, there's a throwback.
There's a throwback.
Joanne Albert Bell.
Was Manny Ramirez the best hitter in an Indians uniform that you ever seen?
Let me think about that.
That's a good question. Infield fly rule is not in effect because no one was at first base. Jackson comes in to admit that one now, 1 out for the Arrows.
It's hard to say because so much of that was steroid induced, and I don't. It's hard to say the '90s era compared to everything else. I mean,
fair. You can't say Calavito because you weren't around.
No, I try to think back to the '80s. Brett Butler was a heck of a hitter. He was a great bunter.
Sure wasn't Corey Snyder.
Oh my, I loved Corey Snyder.
I did too. He's always my go-to.
He makes it into a broadcast every year at least once.
Pat Tabler.
Tabler was, Mr. Bases Loaded though.
Yeah, he could hit the donger. With bases juiced. Yeah. VOTF once. Jim Tome.
No.
Not even close. Bullet, middle. That one's going to get by Jackson. 1 runs in. Grist getting the go sign. Arrows going to go up 4-0. Good job by Summers with that hit right back up the box, and the Arrows advance their lead 4-0.
Really nice piece of hitting going right back.
Grist getting the go sign. Arrows going to go up 4.
My apologies, but really nice job there by Trent Summers putting that one in play. Not trying to yank it and going with it right up the middle.
But you only got 2 hands. You're doing 4 things at once. Mute button, hitting a replay, the controls. You're
see what I can
Jack
do.
of all trades, like I call you.
I will. Master of none.
None. I knew you were going to do it. All right, I want to hear your hitter. Mine is Manny Ramirez, not even close. Pure hitter. Zach, we noted yours. Jim Tomey.
Julio Franco was a heck of a hitter.
Oh, my, that's a great argument.
I mean, he was a
great argument.
Great hitter,
yeah.
Even when he came back later.
Yeah, even as a 47 or 8-year-old.
He was just so good. So good.
That's a good one. Okay, I can roll there.
Robbie Alomar, I mean, for a year was really good.
Yeah, I'm not going with Bob Alomar. He's better at some other things.
Gotta go. That's an error.
Error, and Summers stopped. Goff gave him the go sign, and then as he turned the corner, he put up the ho sign.
It's the 3rd error on the Colts here today, and the cold weather getting to them. The Arrows have one as well, I believe. Well, no, we don't have one marked out there.
Colts haven't hit anything hard.
Yeah, we're playing a clean game so far on the Arrows side.
Arrows with 4 runs on 3 hits. Colts with 1 run, 3 errors that have certainly helped lead to some of those Arrows runs. Nick Mangus hitting out of the 6 hole, hitting 250 on the campaign. Got himself in a zip count. Summers hopping around out there at second base.
What's up? Oh, whoa. It's not where he catches it. It's where it crosses the plate. That one looked a little high, but.
What'd you think, Gunder? Was that a strike? A little high.
It's a breaking ball. It was a nice breaking ball, but sometimes umpires get fooled by breaking balls.
What'd you think of the Flacco find out signing today?
Flack around and find out?
Flack around and find out? I think you're going to find out about a bunch of picks next year, to be honest with you.
I think it is...
Grasping at straws.
If you're thinking that he's going to be your starter and to lead you to the playoffs, that is a huge disaster. But I think it is clear that Kirk Cousins isn't coming here. I think it's clear that we're probably not even going to take a QB at 2 or 33. I would expect the Browns to take a quarterback late in the 2nd, maybe move back into the 2nd, or in the 3rd round with like a guy like Will Howard.
I'm a fan of him. I like that.
I don't know. He's okay. I mean, as a developmental guy.
Compared to what we have, I mean, we have nothing.
Well,
you know who I really wanted? And I don't know if they made a move. It's who knows.
Is it 2-2? I've got 3-1.
It's 2-2. I show. I really wanted Joe Milton. He was the backup in New England. Played at Tennessee.
He had one great game there.
He played against us, and he looked really good.
He played really well in Week 18 this year for the
pop-up center field. That one's trouble, but that one is going to get held up by the wind, and Porterhouse going to camp right under that one in center for the 2nd out of the inning.
Porterhouse.
Porter Schmidt catches that one, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to process best hitter that I saw with the guards, the Indians. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I like I really do like the Julio comparison. I still think I'm undefeated on my statement. I'll take Manny Ramirez.
Well, it's not a draft.
No.
I mean, you might be right.
I'm always right. Chopper. Foul.
You hate to do that on the breaking ball. You got to spin on that with, as the first pitch, you should be looking fastball, fastball, fastball. And if it's a curveball, let it go. Don't even offer. What I always said was spin on it. Right? 2-strike approach is different, but you should be spitting on breaking pitches until you get 2 strikes.
My gosh.
He got it. He got my porterhouse. He got it. He knew. Small to get your foot off the boat.
We'll have him on tomorrow. Sponsor day at the yard tomorrow.
Can't wait. Yeah. This game feels like it's come to a complete halt right now.
Well, we're talking about whatever comes to mind. Browns draft.
Masters.
Mm-hmm.
The
best hitter.
Best hitter in Cleveland baseball history.
You and I think, are on the same page. We have this argument in a group thread. Best Cleveland athlete at his craft. I would go with a Spida. No question.
You mean currently?
Yes, right now.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay.
That's who I got. Camden is in for Jose Ramirez.
Okay.
With a close Miles Garrett. But Garrett should be that winner of that conversation, but he plays about 18 plays a game and takes 28 off.
Dude, you got to get dirty down there. I'm not sure what happened there going over to third, or if anybody was telling him, but that ball bounced right back off the Norma Foundation backstop quickly, and that is your home field. You got to get dirty right there, right?
Yeah.
Plus, you're actually more likely to get hurt going in standing up like that.
I know the Summers family. They got detergent at home.
I hope that Mr. Summers comes up here with some more hot dogs with some pepper butter.
Well, I don't want the hot dog. I want the bratwurst.
I do too, but I'll take either. Let's be honest.
Walk issued. BB&C Car Care walk issued to Isaac Abel. That'll put arrows at the corners with 2 outs. A-hole hitter Jake Bryant shows up.
Really good at bat right there by Isaac Abel. I gave him a little grief for check swinging on that first pitch and offering it that curveball, but he battled back and he got himself on base. And I think Perry has struggled to throw strikes today. He's at 25 balls and 20 strikes.
Yeah, you get these non-league games and you get a little bit further down in the lineup, your pitching rotation, if you will.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Perry ranks in terms of their starters and whatnot, but you go out there and you battle. You can see there on the screen 25 balls, 20 strikes. So, if you're being honest, I mean, Perry would be the first to tell you he doesn't want to throw more balls than strikes, right? So command been a challenge here, and we talked about it in the pregame. It's cold.
Yeah, holding on to the ball is tough today. I mean, it's just getting the grip of the ball, the feel for it. I think we might be running here. Nope. I got him. And Jake Bryant wears it. Had a baby.
Wore it right on that Robbie Alomar elbow pad.
Look, I would wear that thing when I was a hitter.
I would have wore it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think I've told you before my glory day story about being the all-time leader for a while and hit by pitch at the academy, but that was before they even made those kinds of things, right? I would definitely have.
It's got a blinker.
His blinker's on again, and I would again, I'd wear that and get on top of the plate because my job was to get on base. Everybody's job is to get on base,
Sure.
Chris. It doesn't matter if
You
you're
hit
the
at the top
one
of
hitter,
the
the
lineup.
4 hitter, or the 9. It doesn't matter.
Better
Everybody's
get on.
job is to get on base.
Look, if you hit the top of the lineup and you get on base, I'll show you a guy who moves down in the order in a hurry.
Arrows have an opportunity to blow this one wide open right now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Breaking
Spinner
ball.
pitch, no dice. Who is that? It's Isaac Abel out there. He's halfway to Mifflin on his leadoff at second base.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You can throw behind you here, but as long as AJ's out there paying attention at coaching first and not worrying about how cold it is.
VOTF knows what throw behind him means, and he knows what throw a dart means. And we would be running it just about right here, Zach. With 2 outs, bases juiced, down 4-0, you need a spark. Throw a dart right here. That's where we backpick the guy at first base. 1-0 pitch, swung on, and about a half swing there from Wolf. He's now even the count 1-1.
This is just to test it, so we know. 4th inning, right?
Bases packed to Arrows.
Bottom of the third still.
Jeez.
I don't know if we're getting 7 innings here. It's 6:30.
What do you think the VF? I bet VOTF's making a notepad at home with something, thinking about what he wants to bring up tomorrow.
I don't know what just happened there.
I don't know why you're squaring around.
We have
with
a 1-1 count,
bases
loaded, 2 outs, and
No
we're
idea.
showing bunt. I'm not sure. I mean, the guys are really deep over on the right side. But man, you're up 4-0 in non-league game, bases loaded. You need to take some hacks here. 1-1 count, man. You're sitting fastball there. Now you got to protect because you're down in the count. Almost got it. Wear it. You can hear
I think
his
I beat him.
teammates telling him wear it. Tanner Wolf's done a nice job behind the plate this season. He just keeps getting better back there. It's a tough spot, man. Catching is one of the hardest spots in any sport.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Playing nose tackle's got to be difficult too.
No. You don't
You're
have
360 pounds. You can't move off.
to. You don't have to think or be a genius to be a nose tackle.
You know,
If I was, I mean, look, yeah, that was an absurd comment.
You made it. Bases loaded, 2 outs. We'll be in motion. I had a coach.
I got a full count, right?
Yeah,
Is
full
it-
count. 3 and
okay.
2. I had a coach tell me one time, a buddy of mine, he said, look, here's the deal what we do with guys. The guys that you don't want with the ball, you put them close to it in football. And the guys that you never want with the ball in baseball, you put them in, like, the
Far
outfield
away.
as far away as you can.
It's great.
I thought that was a great comment.
So it's full count.
Full count, yep.
There was a little confusion.
Board's
but
wrong.
It is 3-2. We're right.
Arrows-
Our board is
we're
right.
right.
We're right. We got it. It's all good.
Arrows should be in motion. We'll see if they do on the delivery. Make sure he goes home.
Make sure he goes to the plate. Nothing crazy here. That looked like a balk, actually. He's pausing. I don't know if he wanted to
Arrows
throw it.
not in motion.
Popped him up.
Gee. Pop up. Going to get out of play.
Why are we not in motion?
No idea.
Full count and 2 outs here. It doesn't matter whether the scoreboard's right or not. We need to know that. And the umpire put it out and said, so you got to know. We got to know this. Here we go, boys. Got to stay alert. This is where you got to stay alert.
Big pitch. To your point, Brandon.
Chance
We
to
get a
blow it
hit
open.
here, yeah. Played a couple. Everybody's going to be in motion.
There's
the
the play.
back pick. Yep.
And why are we going back to third on that?
Well, they had Bryant smoked at first base.
I'm aware, but then we're going back to third over there. If he turns and throws it to second, we shouldn't be shuffling back towards third. We should be actually getting a secondary lead because if that gets loose, we got a chance to score. We actually had a chance to score even on that play. Those details are important, man. Popped him up again. This one might get out of play. We'll see. And it does. So Wolf's got new life.
Twice.
Good at bat here for Tanner.
Yeah, very
right?
good,
You want to
very
finish this one off, though, right? Stay concentrating here, swinging at strikes. Come on, baby. It's hard not to coach up here.
You're doing a good job. I'm just
It's hard not
enjoying
to-
my cold hands.
It's hard not to coach up
I'm
here
with you.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's
I've
great.
got gloves if you want
No,
some
no, I'm
gloves.
good. All right. I'm good. Full count delivery forthcoming to Wolf. Arrows in motion. Little blooper.
That's
That one is
not
going to be a
gonna
little
make it.
can of corn to Brokaw, the second baseman. Arrows retired, but they plate 2. 4-0.
The team at Whitcomb and Hess have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. And now it's time for the Whitcomb and Hess pregame show guest.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Whitaker Myers, like normal.
Right here, baby.
Sponsors the Troy dogs with pepper butter.
So you got to see this. I don't want to, drip it. There it is. That's called pepper butter. And until last year, was it last year?
Yeah.
I had no idea what pepper butter even was.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. I asked you on air, and you're like, what? I know all the condiments. I said, you don't know this one. And I said, can you handle heat? Oh, yeah, I like it. So Troy brought us up X. Then he brought us up double noise. And then he brought us up 3X. He said, this is the hottest I got. And I said, I want the noise, all of it. I can handle.
Gunder, can you eat it?
And it had 3 X's on the top, you remember. And I said, that's triple noise. And we bit into that baby the first time. My gosh, it was an inferno up there.
This is like
Here's JV.
just enough to warm us up.
This is JV.
Yeah, but thank you to Greg Summers for bringing him up here. We really
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
I'll take a bite if you take us off camera. Thanks.
See what I can do for you.
Leading off the top of the fourth for the Colts, number 16, the right fielder. Mason
Back to the top of the lineup
Sansom.
for the Colts. Mason Sansom gets his second AB. He singled in the first to lead off the ball game. There's a bullet right
Another
back up
base
the
hit.
middle.
Oh, nice play,
Nice
by
play
Gris.
Really nice play by Gris. Good job.
Wow, that was well done right there. I thought that was a hit for sure. We'll see it right up the middle. Great job.
bullet right
The
there.
first
In the
step
middle?
by Gris
Oh,
is what
nice
made
play
that
by
happen.
Gris.
No wasted
Really nice
steps.
play by Gris. Good job.
Gris throws him out of there. Good job out there, Alex.
Let's go back to that last arrows at bat, Brandon. You were talking about hands dropping a little bit. What were you getting at there?
Well, I mean, it's clear that Tanner is seeing the baseball well because he's making good contact. There's a ground ball to short. He's seeing the ball well. Oh, and we get a man on right there. I'm not sure if AJ just didn't see it. That's going to be an error on the arrows.
Error on the first baseman.
Yeah, I think AJ might have just taken his eye off the ball there. But, Tanner is clearly seeing the ball well because he's making contact, right? He's right on it. So he's just, it seems like his hands, as he's stepping, that backside's collapsing and his hands are dropping. And he's got to go. Think about swinging an axe on some of these guys, right? I always talked about there's rotational and there's linear hitting, but, I always talked about, for most guys, you want to be linear, hitting the ball with a bit of a downward plane.
Unlike what they teach major leaguers that hit
Well, they're
below
different.
speed at 250 mile an hour.
Yeah,
That's an exaggeration.
Right.
But you get my point.
Yeah, those guys are different.
Exactly.
They're also all, almost all
100%.
those guys are ginormous,
My
right?
point is,
Yeah.
don't watch the guys on TV because if you do, you're going to be a 200 hitter in high school baseball. I promise you. You want to hit the center of the ball or down on it. Line drives, line drives, like you're taught when you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, as soon as you start trying to elevate and get that launch angle crap going at this level, it's just not necessarily the best approach. And I mean, I get it if you're a big guy and you're 6'5".
If you're Pete Alonso, sure.
Yeah, you're 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and you're 240, 220, whatever, and you're a big guy, then okay, then we'll talk about hitting in a rotational way. But if you're not, then we're going to try to hit the ball in a linear fashion.
Gary Wells, School of Hitting. Just kill the pitcher.
Well,
Line
yeah.
drives right back up the box.
Well, and the truth is, Chris, so you're here, and you're getting to here. Instead, the rotational part is much more like this. I mean, it looks a little more like a softball swing almost.
Yeah,
but
it was kind of hard to see because you got that parka on.
why don't you take off your parka?
Farnsworth trying to nibble there on that spinner pitch, just a little up. 2-2 the count now, 1 out. Base runner for the Colts at second base, who reached on that error by Workman on the throw over by Grissinger.
That was a nice 1-2 pitch.
Yeah.
Just missed. Outside, don't mess around. Go right at him.
Miles might have overthrown that one just a touch.
Yeah, he tried to juice that one.
Back to a full count, 1 out. I see the sun over there.
No,
Not the sun, but it's bright. See it, Gunder?
no, I don't believe it. I haven't seen the sun in about 5 months.
That one's down and in. BB&C Car Care walk issued to Chandler Ball. That'll bring a cleanup hitter, Garrett Hotz, the DH
No
today.
damage. Yeah, no damage right there, Chris. You got 2 on now and no outs, or 1 out rather. So you got an opportunity here still to get out of this. You're up 4-0. You've only got 3 hits, but Clear Fork's only got 1 hit, and even that one, nice piece of hitting right there.
Now Clear Fork's got to run.
That's going to bring home the first run, and you're going to have runners on the corners.
I'm giving him a hit. That's a hit.
Oh, that's definitely a hit. I mean,
Absolutely.
AJ had no chance at that one.
Nope. bring up number 24, Graham Rahal.
Really nice job, I'm sorry, Chris. Really nice job by Garrett Hotz to just go, with that pitch and line it into right field. Don't try to yank it. Just really good piece of hitting right there. And you see why he hit in the 360s last year.
Mm-hmm. So now, 1 out.
You're in trouble here. This is a big inning right
5
now.
hole hitters up. Struck out last time.
Yeah, second time through the lineup as well. So everybody's seen you now.
Might have a man in motion, and we do. Spinner pitch. Nope, he's not going. He just faked that off. Would have been a good pitch to run on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it here, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You got runners on the corners. Good athlete and Hotz over there first. Not holding him. Kind of holding him.
Oh, my. Let's get a quick update on the Masters.
Well, we'll see if we haven't had anything go over into the $7 crate here today. I
know it's all been here. We had like 5 opportunities when Renee was up here, but the Norman Foundation backstop held him in play. Bullet, middle, Hickey has a beat on it, catches that one. Coming home, going to cut it as Workman, but not going to have an opportunity at the plate. So a sac fly by Hunter Rahal. He does his job, and the lead now cut in half, 4-2, Ashland.
Well, you'll take it. You got the out. You trade the out for the run right there, and now you're giving up a 2 spot. It's not the end of the world. It's that third run that makes it a big inning, and that guy out on second base. So if Miles can get out of here with no more damage, it's okay. You don't expect perfection out here.
No, you don't get perfection with Clase.
Not anymore.
Boy, is that a disaster. He went from being the Cy Young winner, arguably, to
happens all the time.
Yep, sure does.
Jose Mesa.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. Wanted to fight Omar Vizquel on the mound.
Jose Mesa was a crazy person.
Was he juiced up?
Oh, yeah. How do you think he went from throwing 91, 92 to
99?
throwing 98, 99? I mean, some of it was going from the rotation to the bullpen, right? Like, because guys, they don't have to save anything. They can just throw as hard as they can for an inning. But, yeah, I mean, everybody was, though, right? The pitchers were, the hitters were, everybody was.
Different game.
Allegedly. I'll throw that out there. I don't want to get sued.
Well, Big Mac wasn't alleged. He went to Congress. Plead the fifth. Why do you plead in the fifth? You just hit a baseball 520 feet. You know, a baseball's never been launched again where he used to hit him at Busch Stadium.
Or off the Budweiser sign there at Jacobs Field.
Oh,
in
that
the
too.
Day. Like,
yeah,
I
back
was there
up in
for
the
that. Yeah.
Back up in the bleachers.
Off Hershiser. Yeah, I was there for that one. That was amazing.
Where'd Hershiser go to school?
Bowling Green.
Attaboy.
Come on, man. What are you talking about? I've met Oral Hershiser in the Indians locker room.
Hershiser was a fraternity brother of my buddy's.
Oh, so you had to pay to have friends too?
Oral Hershiser was not Oral Hershiser in Bowling Green. Look, he really blossomed when he got to professional baseball. He was good, but you don't see it very often. There's a swing and a miss.
Nice
and
job,
a drop
Wolf.
third strike, and Wolf goes textbook out in the field of play to retire Schmidt at first base. Come on back. Arrows up, 4-2.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Tom Second Service. It's time to stop.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right, on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Look, who doesn't have a foot and a shoulder injury? Myles Garrett gets them every other week. We're still up here drafting for the Browns because I'll promise you, if Brandon drafted, it'd be better than what we do. And if I drafted, I guarantee it'd be better than what we're going to do here in 2 weeks. I promise you that.
Up here in the Presidental broadcast booth talking NFL draft talk.
We're fixing the Browns.
I think we've got some kind of a change. I'm not sure what it is. We'll have to wait and see. Coach Goff down here talking. Kaiser is coming in for Jake Bryant. So Kaiser will come in.
Tyler Holt going to step in. 0 for 2 on the day. Hitting out of that leadoff spot. Ought to ask him the last time he hit leadoff.
I think it's been a while.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Breaking ball on the outside corner, swing and a miss. Yeah, we were debating the merits of Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, and I am advocating for Hunter, and you were advocating for Carter, and I said you had Big Ten bias,
which I argued quickly, and then we got into the foot and the ankle and the shoulder. And then I said, well, we play with a left end who has a foot issue every other week, so...
Yeah, but he tends to all of a sudden magically be able to play on Sundays. I will say...
What does he? Do you think he averages a quarter and a half of effort or 2 quarters? 95.
I hear you, but I also do know that he often is.
Just because you have a microphone doesn't mean you change your opinion.
I do often know that he's double and triple teamed, but I also agree with you that I don't think he's exactly... I'm not going to show tape of him to my son.
Listen,
if he wants to play
his motor
defensive
is
end,
like a moped.
When it works... when he's all out, he's amazing.
He's amazing. He's the best defensive player probably since...
Yeah.
I've got an epiphany for Patrick Willis. I think he's the best middle linebacker in my lifetime. Somebody's going to argue me Mike Singletary. I get it. I understand. But I think Garrett has the ability to wreck a game like LT. If he went like LT.
Arrows could use the base runner here, Chris, and try to...
All right, we're changing topics.
Try to get some runs back. If you gave up 2 in the fourth, in the top of the fourth, you'd love to be able to come back here and throw up a number, get something here in our comfort control bottom of the fourth.
Well, Brandon, they're going to throw a number up. It could be a 0. That's a number. You want a 1 or plus.
Full count.
Nobody out. 3 errors.
Spiked it.
Wow.
And again, sometimes guys just get a little too excited and they try to throw a ball too hard, and that's
that was
when,
like 56 feet.
Well, yeah, Perry tried to
goose that one.
Yeah, he tried to goose it, and he's at 60 pitches. 33 balls, 27 strikes for Landon Perry so far.
I'm with you right now. I'm getting him to second base, and I'm trying to get one back here.
Yeah, I'm putting it down here.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to just straight steal, because we've had success so far running.
Hold at first base. Hickey in the box. They check on Holt.
That was close.
Bad throw. Good catch. Turned it into a close play at first.
Scoreboard brought to you by Simonson Construction Services, serving Ashland and North Central Ohio for more than 50 years. 50 yards, Russ.
I wasn't disappointed that we didn't get Russ, and I also wouldn't have been disappointed if we did get Russ.
No, I was not referring to Russ Wilson.
Well, I just did. It was on the Browns. The Browns drive me banana. I mean, you see the Twitter handles that I deliver
Can't
to
believe the Browns
that I haven't gotten blocked.
You.
I give those guys credit. They haven't blocked me. Man, do I get angry at the
They
Cleveland
have
Browns.
thick skin in their social media department.
Well, they don't have any choice. They win 4 games a year. Holt hung out to dry, and he's out.
He's out.
Oh, boy. Goodness.
Well, he saw that ball down in the dirt, got himself off, and was trying to figure out whether or not that had gotten past the catcher, Staley, and got himself in no man's land. Good fire down there to first. Not ideal.
like Brandon Whedon getting hung under the flag.
You know, I mentioned that today because I was talking with a friend of mine about maybe drafting the Shuck kid from Louisville, who's a little older. I really like him, actually.
That's fine.
He's much more athletic than Whedon. He ran a 4.6 340. I mean, I know he's had some injury issues, but I would also be okay with him. Good job there getting over to first base on the walk.
The younger Maori of the household wants Jackson Dart, and he's been saying it for about 4 months.
It's a huge mistake. He's wrong. Nobody's perfect, though. That's all right.
What's wrong with Jackson Dart?
He doesn't throw guys open. He waits until guys have already made breaks. He's slow to process.
How much tape have you watched?
I read and watch guys film all day, every day at work. I shouldn't say that on the air. I mean, you know, when in my spare time. You like that? The truth is, I'm a draft aficionado.
You're really good about not burying yourself, and you just
I know I did it on purpose.
Shoveled.
But I am constantly. I love the draft. Like
Draft's
I just
awesome.
As
Yeah, you're a
NFL,
Browns
especially
fan.
as a Browns fan, right?
Yeah.
I will say. I don't know if we're going to get a call to the pen, but this mound visit is brought to you by Linway Restaurant, serving Ashland since 1951. Quality food and service. Linway Restaurant.
Shortstop, Alex.
3-hole hitter Alex Grissinger steps in. 0 for 2 on the day. He reached on air in the first and then hit into that fielder's choice. He scored 2 runs, though, BW. 2 out of the 4 plated runs for the Arrow.
Couple nice plays in short as well for Gris.
Yep.
He's having a good ball game here. Might be our Truex printing player of the game. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. If VOTF's watching, we could let him pick it. Chris showing bunt. Hickey
Toast.
in motion. He's in there safely.
Oh, good throw back there. Whew.
I'm telling you, Hickey, when you watch this game back, Jeff, you have to walk a base up. You can't get dislodged from the base, your feet or your hands. You have to walk it up. Ask Coach Beer what that means. He'll show you. Somebody going to put a glove on you. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out on Gris. Hickey at second base.
You know, sometimes that he's trying to throw, whether it's a slider or something, a little off, a little cut on it. See, sometimes that front side flies open for Perry. He's got to stay closed more to throw more strikes. See it right there, too. Spiking it.
Several wild pitches for Perry
Again,
today.
sometimes today, that's the
No, I
feel.
get it.
That's the feel for, you know, it's just hard to feel your fingers out there.
Going to have a visit here with the catcher Staley and Perry at the mound. Staley, good job. Just going to go try to settle them down. And hey, let's get something over the plate here and get a ball put in play. Colt infield at the corners, this is odd, have moved up. The middle infielders with nobody at first base playing really deep. So it looks like the middle infield conceding the run if it goes up the middle.
I don't think I'd be doing that. I'd have everybody up, down 2 in the 4th. But, you know, there's still a lot of baseball left.
There we go. Now that we're moving up.
Okay, there we go.
Sometimes when you ask the question because you're not sure your eyes are telling you one thing.
Well, and sometimes, you know, as a coaching staff, you got a lot going on. You know, you're trying to do a lot of things. You're having conversations about, hey, what are we doing next inning?
That's what I always thought about Grover. Like I always felt like he was an inning behind,
he was something.
or 2 innings behind.
Not a huge fan.
Oh, Mike Hargrove.
You know what he did do well was manage the clubhouse.
Yes, I
And
was
a lot
just
of
going to say that.
personalities, but
Yep.
I will say. And
Between the white lines,
everybody
oof.
who knows me, though, would say, boy, you haven't liked any Indians or Guardians manager.
I don't know how you don't like Tito, but you don't.
Well, he blew the 2016 World Series, that's why, and that season.
You don't think Tyler Naquin had a problem not catching the fly ball to right center field off the bat of Chris Bryant in the first? You don't think that mattered?
No, I think if you hadn't
Tito wasn't playing.
If you hadn't overused Kluber, if you hadn't overused Andrew Miller, then none of that would have
Now
happened.
batting for the Arrows,
That's
the
what.
first baseman.
I
number
mean, he
8.
brought
Valid
Andrew Miller.
argument.
He brought Andrew Miller in
fifth.
a game,
Middle of the 4th.
In game 5 when you're up 3-1. Like he just blew him out. Like I don't know if it was game 5 or whatever it was. He used him too much in the whole postseason, and I get it. He was part of why you got there, but you also overdid it. And then guess what? It cost you when it mattered the most. Kluber had nothing, and Miller had nothing in game 7. Nothing.
Miller was, we've had this conversation about starting pitching. I'll take, from the year 2000 on, I'll take Pedro over anybody. And I don't care who you want to argue with me with there. I'll take Pedro, period. And Miller was Pedro unhittable-wise for about 3 years. 2 years for sure. And that 2016 season,
for one time through the lineup.
Oh my goodness, was he something
And he
else.
was he was a high pick. I think he was number 1 pick out of Virginia and North Carolina. He played at both those places, I believe.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Phillies, right?
Yeah.
Phillies?
And he flamed out there as a starter. Then he went to Boston and turned into a reliever eventually. And
Yankees.
Runner goes. They're throwing
Chris.
through and a cutoff. Yeah, okay.
Give Gris a stolen base on that Brokaw coming. Pick in front of the bag.
All right, so regardless, you still have an opportunity here. Regardless of the pick, right? You got an opportunity. Boy, you got second, third.
Sack fly'd be great.
Put a ball in play here. A lot of holes out there, particularly with the infield pulled in.
Workman down to the count 0-1. Spinner pitch. He wanted to offer, laid off. Good job.
And you got,
1-1.
Trent Summers over there on deck. Pretty good hitter there in the 5-hole, but first base open. I'm pitching carefully here to the big fella to set up a force. Yeah, probably a breaking ball here in the dirt. It's inside fastball.
Looked pretty good from this crooked spot.
That was inside.
Close.
That was a good spot, yeah. But again, now you're down 2-1.
Now you got a group one, man.
You're 70. No.
Okay.
I'm pitching around him. I'm putting him on first base.
Talking
here.
about high schoolers here, bud.
I mean, I'm not going to walk him on purpose.
Right.
But
Gris is halfway to Mahickenville on second
well, that's
base.
good. He's got plenty of room out there. That's inside.
Oh. I'll tell you, we don't see many pass ball runs scored these days with this new
I love
backstop
it.
like we did
It's
the
great.
first year.
It's great. This is just a fabulous facility. I mean, here at Archer Arrows Park, Bud Plank Field.
We used to see 2 base pass balls here. How crazy as that sounds.
You're right, because we were about 70 feet from home plate. Wow, was that rough.
First year I brought binoculars, literally, and they were up here with us the whole season. We could see. We're 480 feet away from center field.
Praise God for Bill
crazy.
Harris and the Harris family, Harris Press Box.
Scott Connery and the Archers. And
Yeah, you're not wrong,
everybody
man.
made this possible.
Stepping up to the plate, number 2.
Is
Trent
that
Summers.
heat just aimed at Gunder? Like,
Kinda.
What's happening here?
Well, it's probably very close to melting. It's so hot, I don't know if I want to touch it, but I'll give it a gander here. All right, we'll be right back. Call to the bullpen, brought to us by Linway Restaurant.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Back here at Archer Arrows Park. New pitcher, Porter Schmidt, coming in from center field, the left-hander. And Trent Summers will have his hands full with Schmidt. But the bases are loaded for the Arrows with 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Top of the 4th, these Colts came up with 2. And always a tough one in the bottom to try to come back and figure out a way to throw up a 0 if you're the Colts. And the Arrows trying to strike right back. And, we're going to be battling against daylight here in the next hour. So 7:08, Chris, and we'll see.
Porterhouse on to pitch. Left-hander, as you mentioned, base is full of arrows. And Trent Summers, today's 5-hole hitter for the Arrows. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Reached base safely both times. Reached on air to the third baseman in the first. And singled in the third. Got a chance to get back a couple of those runs here, at least one of them possibly. One out now.
Get back, JoJo.
Get back, JoJo. Workman at first, Grissinger at second. I believe that's Hickey at third base.
Yep. One down.
First lefty we've seen this year on the mound against the Arrows. First one well outside, ball one. Well, that was really wise of moving that heat. Gunder's out. For you at home, we just moved the heater right behind Wells and I. And
I was wondering, it was much warmer the other day, you know.
Well, Gunder wore a stocking hat, and that thing is like Mount Everest approved parka.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is, folks. I know you wanted to see him.
I wore a deer hunting zip-up hoodie.
I left my deer hunting stuff at home.
You can't even load a gun.
That is correct. I'm proud of that. 2-0, and Summers gave it. I know, but on the 2-0 pitch, 2-0, Summers gave it a good hack at it on the pitch down the middle.
Summers hitting 267 coming into today's game, probably up to about 290 now with that 1-for-2 showing so far today. Well, you go 2-for-2 in a game early in the season, and your average goes up like 110.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember starting the season 10-for-15 once.
That's
and
hot.
It was like, man, you could do no wrong.
That
nice job back there, keeping that ball in front. Yeah. Now you got 3-1. Really nice job by the catcher Staley right there. Knocking it down, keeping it out in front, keeping a run from coming in. But now you got 3-1. This has got to be your spot and your speed, right? So you're picking fastball, middle in, middle away, whatever it is that you like. And if it's not there, you're letting it go.
Nick Mangus on deck for the Arrows if it gets to him.
Outside.
And it is going to. That'll be ball 4 issued to Summers to give him an RBI and another BB&C Car Care walk. Hickey comes across to plate. Grissinger goes to third. Workman to second. And Summers at first, courtesy of that walk, and Mangus steps in. I'll tell you, Mangus isn't a real huge dude, man, but he's got some pop in that bat.
Yeah, well, you can see he's core strong. I mean, there's no doubt. And you don't have to be huge or tall or wide, but bat speed doesn't come from either of those things. So he jumped right on that one. He's got a chance.
Right center
to get
field.
down.
Center fielder coming on. It doesn't make the play.
That's a hit.
Going to second is Summers. Gris going to come in to score. And Mangus with another one-out RBI. So the Arrows get them both back.
What do we talk about? Putting the ball in play, right? And Mangus did a great job of attacking the first pitch. He didn't exactly crush it or anything.
No.
The wind knocked it down and pushed it away from the center fielder, and he drifted on it and didn't play it very well. At first, he just got out there in center from being on the mound, and it's a tough ball right there, the first one at you. So Arrows have a chance to continue to just blow this one wide open, Chris.
Isaac Gable now at bat with bases loaded. That one's inside.
Oh.
Called a strike?
He called it a strike. It was inside and
Don't
dropped.
you have to catch it?
That was something. I'll just say that.
Look at Coach Beer down there. The Scarecrow's got artillery in both arms. Bull,
ripped.
Left side. That's through the 5-6 hole. One runs in. Workman's in. And head coach Rick Goff wisely holds up Summers, asking him and imploring him to get back on the bag. And he does that. So bases loaded. Still, Justin Kaiser going to get his first hack of the day. Back-to-back singles after back-to-back-to-back-to-back walks.
There's Beer. I mean, you can see the net, but you also can see Beer holding all the things.
He's got the things. I wonder if those mittens are heated. We'll have to ask him that after the game. We should have a coach we'll have Coach Goff. Yeah. Wonder if he's got some warmth. I did get a vest for football season because I'm down there freezing. Heated vest. Smart.
I know what you're saying.
Wise.
Heated vest?
Yeah.
Some of those press boxes aren't exactly warm. You're welcome. We could use a gapper. Just blow this. Let's get out of here at 4.5. Like,
great.
Let's. We got the bottom of the lineup. Kaiser's first at bat here coming in, and base hit here can score 2. They're playing shallow out in center.
Activity out in the Arrows pin.
You still could squeeze here too.
That'd be sweet. Uh-oh. $7 holla, $7 dinero. Gone.
Gracias a la compagnie de server paving.
That was pretty good. Both of us. Siete dinero.
7 money? That's what that means, right?
Yeah, I know what it means. Well, VOTF was probably writing it down to make a joke about it, but he didn't know what we were talking about.
$7. See.
You do have a nice tongue roll with those R's, too.
I've been told that.
Jeez. I was talking about the Spanish.
Yeah, I know. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. Yo puedo hablar español muy bien. I got to speak some Spanish with a lot of the Guardians and Indians players when I traveled with
Oh,
them.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What was your... There's a shot into the gap.
That's going to clear the bases, Chris. That's 3 runs. Send them all.
Kaiser around first, headed to second. 1 runs in, 2 runs in. Bad throw in. And Coach Goff didn't send him, held him there with 1 out. I understand it. Yep. Stand-up double for Kaiser. He gives his celebratory, whatever they do in high school baseball nowadays, and throwing his hands all around. 2 runs in, 9-2 Arrows.
Well, big hit right there. The Arrows, Chris. With a game tomorrow, we got an opportunity to just kind of blow this one up.
Infield coming in for the Colts.
We got top of the lineup on deck.
Arrows with a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 4th. Blow it open 9-2.
Nice breaking ball right there. Tight slider, lefty to lefty, and that's always a tough one for Tanner Wolf. And you got the shadows now going out onto the field. And so ball coming from the sun, and you're in the shadow in the box.
What was your high school Spanish name?
Fernando.
Really?
Yep.
Mine was Juan. That was when Juan Gonzalez was like mashing balls off, steroid.
He had one really good year with the Guardians of the Indians. And then he just blew out his hamstring, and,
He was something else in Texas. My gosh, could he hit homers. Couldn't hit anything else. Doubles.
Gotta go. Oh, we got trouble here.
Wow.
He's safe. Pulled him off the bag.
Wow. So that's a K officially in the book that is recorded as not an out.
Correct. Bases loaded. Tyler Holt with a chance to just short of send us home early. If he can get a hold of one and get a couple runs in here. You need 3 more to get to that 10 spot, but
Tyler Holt has an opportunity to be thankful he's not playing slow pitch softball right now.
Stay within yourself.
Don't make the second out of an inning.
I hear you. That's up. Good eye.
Tyler Holt has an opportunity to send us home. That would be pretty sweet.
Well, I mean, we still have to get outs in the top of the 5th, but
I like our chances. Sun is out and shining towards right field.
Nice breaking ball right there.
Yeah, it was.
And it comes out of his hand looking like a fastball, that tight spin, and then just hard break on that outside corner.
Middle infield playing back. I don't know if I'd be doing that, to be honest with you. You need to cut down everything you can if you want to give yourself a chance.
I think at this point you're just trying to get an out, Chris.
Okay.
You're waving the white flag in a way in this inning to just get an out.
Okay. Park looks great with all these sponsors. Thanks to every local business here that's put a banner up in the outfield. It looks awesome. 1-2 pitch.
That's up. See.
I've seen that one of strikes.
Poquito alto.
Oh, yeah, up.
See.
Got to head down to Guadalajara.
Muy divertido.
I wouldn't go.
¿Por qué no?
No. Holt works at full now, 3-2, 1 out, bases loaded. Just got a text. Vivek's ready to ask me for $1. Spam text.
You should give me money.
Staying alive. Holt in the box.
So this is one with a game tomorrow and the shadows creeping. You want to get this one done. This is one where you got to stay with your guys. You want to get this one done.
I think you can tell I'm ready to get it done with all the...
You just don't want to drag it out, and
Yeah,
you have to use more pitching.
Right.
You know.
Still don't have a number down there in the pen.
Farnsworth with only 47 pitches, though. Oh. Really nice breaking ball right there, and he got him.
2 outs now, bases loaded. Jeff Hickey coming back up. Had a really nice game today. Scored 3 runs with no official ABs, BW 3 walks. Found himself a really nice role in the outfield defensively, too. He's turned in a really handful of nice plays.
It's outside.
Making all the routine ones as well.
Not a high and tight, but my man Matt Trukovich checking in from the 419 Barbershop.
Is he watching this debacle?
He's watching this.
Not the baseball, but the me and you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not a debacle.
That one's across the inside part of the plate strike.
You want to know, I don't know what you're looking for there. Fastball middle in. That's when you turn on, right? Like, you still got to stay aggressive here. You got a 5 spot here in the 4th. Breaking ball
That's
ripped.
hammered. Left field, that's going to get 1 in. Coach Goff going to wave him around. We're going to have a play.
Good decision by Kaiser of holding. 10-2. He would have been out by 30 feet. Left fielder shallow. And a great piece of hitting right there on the breaking ball.
Couldn't agree more.
Hickey just roped into left field.
Hickey having a really good start to his campaign here.
Some guys like to hit the breaking ball, but man, he was on it. He was sitting on it right there. Sometimes you guess and you guess right. But now you've got that 10th potential run, 12th run really, out there on second base. Well, that's going to be a tough play. Tough play. Safe. Yep, he's safe. That's an infield hit. And another run, 11-2. Great hustle out of the box by Griss. And that's what, you hit that Baltimore chop or whatever you call it. They used to say when you hit the plate, but he just pounded it into the ground, went up high, and he busted it out of the box.
Get out of the box, get down the line.
Clear Fork played it well, but, that ball it was in the air a ton and for a long time. So, and now we're pinch hitting for A.J. Workman.
Up 9. 11-2. Bases loaded. Tyler Sauter to dish. First pitch.
Oh, that was a strike. Wow.
Chalk.
A nice pitch, just a little outside, a lot of movement. Maybe a little generous on that one. A little tail on that fastball, too. That 2-seamer just running away. Breaking ball. And way late, fouled it off. Now you're down 0-2. I think fastball is coming. And it's coming probably letter high. I would challenge a pinch hitter here with a fastball 0-2. Little down. That's a really nice spot, though, on 0-2, and good hold by Tyler.
Sauter going to be playing in an all-star game here pretty soon. Coach V is going to be coaching in that.
Breaking ball up and away.
2-2 the count now. Arrows up 11-2. Arrows 11 runs on 7 hits.
Are we getting Coach Valentine and maybe TBD up in the booth at all this year?
Coach V was supposed to be here, and then we had some scheduling errors.
Snafu.
Military term. How do you say that in Spanish? Snafu.
El snafu.
Griss at first. Hickey at second. The masked man at third base is Tanner Wolf. Sauter to dish.
Good fight. Almost got beer.
Scarecrow moving quicker than he has in a long time.
Like he's chasing a criminal.
With a taser.
Don't tase me, bro. 2-2. Sauter. He's kind of digging in.
He's fighting.
He's ready. Yeah, he's fighting it off there. Breaking ball coming. And we went with another fastball and fouled off. Pitch number 7 coming. Pitch number 8 coming to Tyler. So really a great battle here against Porter Schmidt, especially coming off the bench.
Yeah. Infield or outfield playing really shallow. That one's well outside.
Full
3-2.
Bases loaded.
Going to have another, if Sauter reaches safely, we're going to have another pinch hitter if I can find the number on this. Yeah, Evan DeHenden. I had to search for the jersey number here in order. Evan DeHenden.
Fouls off.
Look at Sauter working.
9 pitches this at bat. Pitch number 10 coming, and really nice job there. Yeah, you see over there on deck to Hendon. Coach Justin Dew behind him. Oh, get down, get dirty, Dew. Kicking that ball back to himself.
We're not all fleet of foot as we once were, BW.
Speak for yourself.
I knew it was coming. Oh, right back towards Brokaw. Good job by Gris hopping over top of that one, but Sauter going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, but the Arrows plate 7 in the 4th. We head to the top of the 5th.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
The team at Whitcomb and Hess have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. And now it's time for the Whitcomb and Hess pregame show guest.
Arrows with a huge lead here through 4 innings of play, 11-2. Arrows with 11 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Colts with 2 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors, BW. And I think you and I were ready for 3 more outs quickly and go get 1 more.
Up here in the Priest-Dental booth, yeah, we are. Arrows, the 7th spot in that 4th inning, but, still left them loaded. Great at bat by Tyler Sauter.
Yeah.
I know it didn't work out the way we had hoped, but 10-pitch at bat.
Landon Perry, today's starting pitcher, gets in the box and strikeout victim, his first AB.
And, really tough for Farnsworth to sit. That was a long inning. I mean, you're talking
35 minutes,
yeah. And come out and throw first pitch strike. Go right at him. Man, you got to throw fastballs and go right at him. Make him challenge. Challenge him.
Forget that breaking pitch. Strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Now ahead of Perry, 0-2.
11 runs on 7 hits. I had 9 hits, Chris. Maybe I'm wrong. Here comes the 2-strike pitch. Ground ball right back at him, and a nice play by Farnsworth. And there's 1 down here in the top of the 5th.
I got 7 hits.
Okay. Listen, I will correct it.
Next up for the Colts, number 5, the left fielder, Judah Chamberlain.
It's some of those 50-50 ones, you never know if they're going to be on the board.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody scores games differently, let's be honest.
Nice spinner pitch there across for a strike to lead off Chamberlain's at bat. Watched any MLB yet?
Not much.
Me neither.
51 pitches for Farnsworth, make it 52. I did not pay for the Guardians TV, and I'm not going to. I mean,
Not happening.
It's just so much time here as we are broadcasting a baseball game. It's going to take 2.5 hours, but,
2.5 hours for 4 innings.
Yeah, ground ball to third.
Abel charge. Ooh,
Took a weird hop on him.
sure did.
That's going to be an infield single. Can't give him an error. It didn't hit any. Didn't hit
I
his glove.
agree.
and
I'm
it just
staring
took
at the board. I'm curious.
a weird hop to the left, and that's what part of what when you've gone almost a week without being able to mow the infield and level it and maybe get a roller out there on it. But
we have one. Yard looks good though.
It looks beautiful.
It does.
Just need to move that outfield fence in about 30 feet. I mean, it's partially,
Probably need to put a parking lot out there in left field beyond the fence.
Yeah, and I would love the idea of making some fun pieces to that outfield fence. Ground ball to third, but Abel's got another shot.
This is over to Kaiser for one. Nice turn by Kaiser. Just wasn't going to get him with that wide hit there down the line, but good job of getting the lead runner.
Chris, I love when you have asymmetrical, outfield dimensions. It would be fun to be able to do that if we ever do have the financial ability to move in the fence 20 feet. And just, you could put up a bigger wall in right field or
It's
whatever you want to do.
expensive.
I know it is. I know.
expensive.
I'm just saying if it ever has to happen, we should do something fun.
It's massively expensive to move that fence. You wouldn't think it is, but my goodness.
It is. You're right. Yeah. It's true. But you're right. It would also then clear some more space out there for parking and for the band practice and, the junior football leagues and all that kind of give a little more room out there too.
Look, I think, the reality is, and we're not trying to reset and spend everybody's hundreds of thousands of dollars here in the district, but, parking's a challenge here on Friday night footballs, and thankfully Praise Dental and Grace Brethren and whatnot, the high schools, I mean,
right now, if you look out there,
good point. The teacher lots.
There's some
full.
events going on. You got stuff going on with conferences. Yeah. Oh, he went.
Okay. In an 11-2 game, I thought they might have given another strike. You clearly didn't.
Yeah. It was close. You overthrew it. You could hear it.
2 balls and a strikes. That's singular.
57 pitches for Farnsworth. A lot of strikes today. Really doing a nice job.
Pound his own, Ricky.
40 strikes, Chris. That front side flew open right there.
Back-to-back pitches.
Yeah, back-to-back. He just tried to throw a little too hard. 3-1 count. You got to stay within yourself and do what you're able to do. Trust your stuff at all times. Woo! It's a good spot right there on 3-1. Didn't groove him one. They hit one on the outside corner, and that was a pretty one. Now, full count. Top of the lineup here.
Wind's still blowing in from the north. Little chopper over to Kaiser. He's going to scoop that one up and throw it over for the third out of the inning. The Arrows need one to put this one to bed. Come on back.
The team at Whitcomb and Hess have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. And now it's time.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Yeah. John Denver playing. You know that John
He
Denver.
does have a great song.
There's a John Denver tribute this coming week at the Ashland Theater, I believe. Yeah, John Denver's an amazing musician. He's just not a very good pilot.
$1 hot dogs at the concession stand. Thank you.
Country roads. I wasn't touching that one. Take me home.
You should sing with Low E.
No, I can't sing.
April 26th, the Low E Trio will be at the Phoenix Brewing Company down in Mansfield. Then we're off in May. We've got 3 South Street gigs in June, July, and August.
I'll be on the mic for the Madison game at Community Stadium. Saw the publication today.
September 26th, the Low E Band will be playing the Brickyard. It's a big, the final Friday. That's a big gig. There's a lot of people come out down there, down in Mansfield.
What's the Brickyard?
It's the entertainment area right there behind the Phoenix Brewing Company.
Oh, cool. Downtown.
It is really cool.
Nice.
Hundreds and hundreds of people
That's
usually.
cool.
Sometimes 1,000 people plus.
Do you get
are
any
out
shirts? I told you, get some shirts.
there. I can do that by then. That's a good idea.
I know. It's called sales, BW.
You can check
We
out
try to sell stuff, not sales prevention.
Low E Band on Facebook or loweband.com.
But you got to get a cool logo, like that
I do
somebody's
have
going to
one.
wear.
I do. I have a cool logo
All right.
with an umlaut. Thanks, Gunder.
Gunda. He's usually the producer extraordinary. He serves as the PA announcer for all
I
Arrow
was
home
too busy
baseball games.
self-glossing,
Yes, you were.
promoting.
2-2 count on to Hendon. That one's up.
If you're really excited out there, you can download or stream my single,
What is it?
Long Winter by Davis Wells. The long winter is still here.
BDW.
It's freezing. Yeah.
I actually have warmed up.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay, but I'm,
Yeah, this chair is melting. The one that Renee was sitting in is literally just about melting.
well, that chair right now would probably be about $300 with our tariffs from China, because that's probably where it's from.
It's all going to get rectified, my friend. 2 weeks or less.
Well,
I'll take a wager on it. Credits? Lunch?
no.
Okay. Wise move. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 to Hendon. Good at bat and just swung through that one first out of the inning. And that'll bring up scheduled hitter Nick Mangus. Is he coming up? No, Noah Dennis. Noah Dennis is hopping in for his first AB.
Arrow's 1 run away from ending this game, and here we are.
Hey, reminder, Brandon and I will be back in the cold tomorrow, right here in the same seats from the Preston broadcast booth to bring you the Findlay Trojans and the Ashland Arrows. Starts at noon. Let's hope it's an on-time start. And scheduled to join us tomorrow, we've got a second inning Wickham and Hess guest. We're still efforting that to see if that does come to fruition, but I can promise you if everything works out, you'll want to tune in and catch that. Thanks to Gianni for sponsoring the post-game show. It's going to be an abbreviated one tonight because we'll be back in about 14 hours.
Well, and partially because we started 40 minutes later than we were scheduled to,
Yeah.
and I'd like to get home and eat and go
Hungry.
to sleep. End of the
Dennis
bat.
pops that one up. Catcher Staley giving chase, and that one.
Oh,
good effort.
Couldn't quite get it. That's a first baseman's ball, Chris. That is a play where the first baseman has to take charge coming in. Again, a catcher, one of the toughest plays for a catcher is those pop-ups because he's running away and
Out of
the
the
ball's going
crouch,
away
too.
from him. He's got all that gear on. Your infielders have to take charge and come and get that ball. Learning point there for first baseman for ball.
We can hear the wind howling now, can't
Yeah,
you?
it's picking up. And he got him.
Two outs.
Sid Sud strikeout.
Isaac Abel going to step into the box.
Superheated power washing.
I could use some superheated water in the shower tonight.
Soft, superheated power washing. There's nothing quite like a hot shower after a long day. Especially with being out in the cold.
This qualifies. Abel, nice hack at that one on an O delivery. Swings through that one.
Porter Schmidt's up around 50 pitches. This
Do
will
you
be
think we have
pitch
any
48.
viewers today? Other than,
Dozens. Matt Trukovich is out there
I
watching.
know. Bless old Matty T.
I love Matty. Great barber, man.
Great barber.
I jumped around, and I don't let anybody touch my hair, just anybody, because my mother is
Where
a beautician.
at? Like, what part?
What do you mean? I don't appreciate that. I'm not at that part yet. Remember, we have an agreement, Chris.
Yes, and we're not there. We have 40 watchers.
That's great. Well, thanks for tuning in out there, everybody. I will tell you, we do have an agreement that if my hair gets to a point...
Just leave it go. It's bad.
Yeah. But Matt's
a good guy.
Yeah, he's
a
awesome.
really good guy. Big supporter of all aero athletics.
Very deep thinker.
He is. He is.
You want to go and have a conversation while you're getting your hair cut, which is kind of part of the beauty of the old school barber, right? Like, and my mother was a beautician for years and years and years. You know, she ran her own shop up in Akron and Cuyahoga Falls. While back,
I've never went to anyone other than a barber. Started in Hayesville with John Eckelberger.
I believe it. But I only went, it sounds weird, but my mother cut my hair for 40 years, basically. Sure. She still will for every now and then.
Yeah.
So my point is, I don't trust just anybody.
So I was in there.
Check
swing. They did not. Not when you run off the dish.
Don't beg.
I thought he went.
Don't beg. I thought he did too, but it doesn't matter. You can't run off the field and make the umpire make the call.
So speaking of Matty T, I went in there, got my hair cut, and he's like, "Where you been? You been traveling?" I said, "Yeah, I just got back from New York." And he goes, "Oh, really?" He said, Did you get a Luigi shirt? I said, "What?" He said, "Luigi, the guy." I said, "No." And it took me a couple seconds to realize what he was talking about, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no, I didn't get a Luigi." I thought they were selling them all over the city. I don't know, they might be.
I hope not.
All right, moving on.
I hope not. Regardless of your feeling on insurance.
Justin Kaiser steps in his second AB. Member BW, he had a 2-run stand-up double.
Well, I'd like him to hit a double here and end this ball game so we can go home. And I love baseball, don't get me wrong.
Too.
But, my nose has been running for 2 hours now. So is my mouth.
True.
That's pretty normal. It's hit well.
Jackson flips it to second base, and we're going to the 6th.
So we calling out.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Call to the Bullpen brought to us by Linway Restaurants. Amazing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and desserts on tap for you. Local pies, baked fresh daily. Check out Rob Stoops and his team. Down by Congrove.
What are you looking at back there?
I don't know. Just spending some time.
I'm
ready for it.
What's happening?
I'm ready to get going.
I've got my parka on.
Yep.
You've got your deer hunting sweatshirt
This
on.
is a mess, this thing. This is what I burn sticks and stuff in.
It's nice of you to go on the air with that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's classy.
Yeah, anybody that knows me knows I just kind of rolled on my own drum.
Stay classy, San Diego.
I will.
Carson Little's the new pitcher, and the big kid, fastball, curveball, slider.
Do you know that for sure? You seen the slider?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It doesn't throw it very often.
I think it's safe to go with fastball and changeup on any pitcher in high school.
Should be. I mean, really, all you need is a fastball and changeup to get people out.
It's a
honestly,
great pitch, the changeup. Most underrated pitch in baseball.
It's the first pitch I teach guys when I'm coaching, if they don't have one, or the first pitch I emphasize during pitching. Those first few weeks, so I'm making sure guys are throwing that, because it's the least deleterious on your arm.
Wow. I'm gonna have to ring up Handelsman for that one.
I pulled it out just for you.
He'll know what it is. He'll give me where it comes from. You two can go pretty deep. Stevie's going over to China here pretty soon.
I hope he makes it back.
He'll be fine. He knows his way around. 30 years in Asia.
Tariff him when he comes back?
No, he's going to tariff Xi Jinping. He's got direct orders.
Oh, boy. What a
Nice
nice
bender
breaking
there.
ball right there. And Little with the beauty, he gets ahead in the count.
Spent a little time in Hong Kong at our new office over there. Made an acquisition, so we got a new office in Hong Kong. Swing and a miss, strike three. Sid Such strikeout, out number one. Nice AB there, a nice delivery from
office over there.
Little.
Acquisition, so
Beautiful pitch going away.
Strike.
What set him up was that bender.
And that's Jackson he struck out. He's a very, very good player. First team MOAC. All Ohio performer.
There it is. Ground
Yeah,
ball right
right.
back at
Nice
you. Step
job.
and throw. Step and throw. Oh,
boy.
God, help me.
Nice job.
Yeah, you got to step and throw, though. I don't like what he did. So the detail, just to be clear, right? Details of that. That little ground ball back to you, though. I like that he took his time, but then step and throw.
Now batting for the Colts. Number
That's why we do
14, Garrett
PFP,
Haas.
right? You do 3-line drills. You do PFP. all
Pitching,
spring.
fielding practice?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 3-line drills.
For
is
the
what-
people out there that
Yeah,
didn't know.
pitching. Right, it's pitcher's fielding practice. But the way I do it is it's called 3-line drills, and so you got everybody moving at all times. You've got pickoffs. You've got bunt coverages. You've got there's a way to do it correctly.
Nobody's standing.
No,
Love that.
Nobody's standing.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Garrett Hotz. Gunner, did you mess his name up today?
The first time. Yeah.
First time?
What did he say? Hotes?
Oates.
No, I said wrong first name.
Oh, wrong.
That happens.
How'd you mess up Garrett?
If it makes you feel any better,
Oh, okay.
I
That's okay.
was calling the second baseman from Worcester the wrong last name
Winge.
for 6 innings. No, Frazier.
Oh, Frazier.
I
That's
was
right.
saying
It was Grazier.
It is Grazier. I was calling him Frazier.
Well, then
Frazier
you had
Crane.
me. Then you had me going with Maddox, and you were all over the board. Who's Maddox?
Who is this
Maddox
Maddox?
Grazier,
Yeah.
the kid that got the player of the game. No, his name's Grazier.
Who's
No,
our
it's not.
Who's our Truax printing player of the game? Do you think so far? That's a tough call so far.
Look at this. Jeff Hickey, 1 for 1.
That's ripped into
4
left
runs
field.
he scored. That's a
extra
hit.
bases.
That's gonna be a stand-up double. I mean, there's a lot of BW. Look at this. Say Griss is, 1 for 3, scored 3 times.
Third baseman number 24, Hunter.
I think it's one of these two
Ray Hall.
cats. Probably right there.
I think so because we had Griss up here earlier this
Look,
season.
Look, Jeff Hickey is perfect today. Perfect on base percentage. Scored 3
Oh,
times.
you're jinxing him because he's about to come up in the 6th inning.
Well, he's going to walk it off.
Well, we got to get out of this inning first.
Oh, yeah, with no runs scored.
Carson Little from the stretch. Man on second, 2 down.
It's got a little Jose Mesa delivery going.
He certainly does. You can't teach size, and he's got that leverage and that downward action coming from, he's probably, 6'4"?
He's got to be. He's a lot taller than us.
Well, everybody is, just to be clear. That's a long list.
I feel normal in China when I go.
But you have that blonde hair, they got to look at you, right?
So I went. This is true story. So
My
we
mother was there, and she's just blonde,
Really?
and
So-
she's like a celebrity the first time she went
Well,
there.
so Handelsman, me, and Jimmy Patel were. I can't remember what city we were in, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. I'll finish that story. I'm really good if you're just joining us for the first time of me starting stories right as we get ready to go over half an inning. We'll be right back.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
I've had plenty of those things back in the day. Yeah. Turn over a new leaf. Like those leaves that fall in the fall, you just turn them over.
Lots of coffee.
The Scarecrow is...
Diet Dew.
Yeah, Diet Dew. Look
Where's
at the
the
Scarecrow. He went with a blanket almost.
What's he doing over there?
I don't know. He's talking about law enforcement duties.
He does have a friend on their staff.
Yeah.
There, so
Tanner Wolf leads off the... We're in the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th, Chris. If we can get one, we can go home a little early. Otherwise,
we need 6 outs.
It's getting dark, too.
If I had a white flag, I'd play with...
What's that?
That one's tailing. That's a downer. No, it's not. Oh, that's an error.
That is.
That's a stand-up error.
I'm just laughing because the music
Gunder hit it
playing.
right at the same time. Gunder, what are you doing? Good grief. Gunder.
That was great.
Home Depot's finest right there. Just hit the walk-up music right when the pitch is at the bat.
Boop, 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 boop.
You couldn't have timed it any better.
That's so
It was
great.
perfect.
Oh, Gunder, I love you, my man. That was awesome.
Gunder's the only guy I know that says, I'm not taking a ride in the import. I'm going to ride the MOD to Madison High School in the tsunami. And he shows up, and I meet him outside the press box. I said, you all right? He said, yeah. I said, you don't look too bad. And then he turns around, and the back side of his outfit is dry, and the front is just dripping.
Wolf over to third. He's the game-ending run. We're going to have an abbreviated postgame because it's 8 o'clock.
Brought
and we
to
want
us
to get
by
everybody
Janney.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friends at Janney and our friend Zach Truax, the Truax printing player of the game, is going to be Jeff Hickey. 3 walks and a single. He's on deck. He may get up again. We'll see.
Oh, no, we're going home.
And that's going to be a hit.
That's too bad. That hit him right in the head.
That hurts. And that's a hit and a run. That came up and got him. And it's 12-2.
That'll be the ball game.
That's your final.
Final score.
Arrows walk this one off in the bottom of the 6th, courtesy of the 10-run rule.
Arrows will be back in action tomorrow.
And tomorrow, we're going to tell you it's a short post game. We're going to get it done right now. Our thanks to all of our sponsors, Janney Post Game Show, financial advisors you can trust. Check out Rich Sturry at Janney.com and in Mansfield. Today's winning pitcher is Miles Farnsworth, and the player of the game, as Brandon mentioned, presented by Truax Printing, Jeff Hickey.
Jeff Hickey, yeah, and he moved over to center, played pretty well out there. A couple of base running blunders, but there's something to learn from. It looks like a NASCAR screen right now going on.
I love it.
But player of the game presented by TruaxPrinting.com. Our play of the game, that's a tough call there. Presented by Bo Lacey Construction.
I think it was really, Brandon, if you don't want
to
to pick one, I say it's the 4th. I mean, we put 7 runs on the board. We had back-to-back walks and a couple singles.
Yeah, and I will even go as far as to say Tanner Wolf on a strikeout, busting it out of the box to get himself to first base on a spot where he could have dogged it or just said, nah, and instead he did the right thing, and you always busted out of there, and it kept that inning going and really helped the Arrows win this ball game. So our Bo Lacey play of the game, goes to Tanner Wolf's strikeout, RBI, whatever you want to call
Made
it.
it first base safely.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Miles Farnsworth, today's Sarver Paving winning pitcher. As always, thanks to Brandon Gunder for taking the jokes and letting us give him a hard time up here when we're on air watching a 10-run baseball game. For Brandon Wells, I'm Chris Mowry, BW. Do it all the time.
God
Take us home.
bless, Godspeed, and go Arrows!